Hello everyone, and welcome to the Hunter Association, your source for all things Hunter x Hunter. My name is Kaige.
And my name is Dylan.
And on this week's episode, we are talking about Hunter x Hunter 1999, episodes 43 through 45.
It's a big batch today.
Yeah, the end of Heaven's Arena has come. Then, of course, we will be going through our community comments. If you would like to join in on the community and have your comment read, be sure to comment on the I'm stumbling YouTube version on the weekly community posts. Also, make sure to like and subscribe to help grow our community of Hunter x Hunter fans. Additionally, if you'd like to know when new episodes are live, click the bell to enable notifications. If you're an audio listener, make sure to rate, review, and comment on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitter at TXHXAPod, as well as Bluesky at THAPod for podcast-related updates and to submit responses to the weekly call-out posts. If you'd like, you can also still email us at hunterassociationpod@gmail.com. As always, we provided timestamps in the description if you'd like to skip ahead to any of the aforementioned segments.
You got through it.
I did. No news, actually, this week, which is unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. I was really anticipating at least like one post, but no.
Yeah,
nothing.
no, we got nothing. Radio silence, but that's okay.
Par for the course, I suppose.
Yeah, we've waited longer.
No biggie.
Dylan is sick this time. We've traded roles.
Yeah,
so.
You can probably already tell by how my voice sounds, but something happening with my sinuses, so apologies if I don't sound right today, or if I stumble over my words. I apologize in advance.
Yes. We have also shortened community comments this week. We'll talk about that later, but just a heads up right here at the beginning. We've trying to cut down on time to save Dylan's voice.
Thank you, please. Yeah, I kind of need that.
All right. With that being said, I think we're just ready to talk about these episodes.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get into it.
All right, everybody, welcome to our discussion on Hunter x Hunter 1999, episodes 43 through 45. The ending of Heaven's Arena, very short-lived arc, obviously, but even more short-lived than I think we expected at the beginning of this.
Absolutely, yeah.
So this first episode here, episode 43, is called Talent, Agony, Killer Instinct.
Fair enough.
Okay. So, if you remember, last week we did the ending of the arc before the ending of the arc. So here we are doing... this is nonsense. This is all nonsense. These next two episodes are... They are something.
It feels very weird to see all of this unfold, like pretty much exactly as is in the manga, just like after the Hisoka fight. It's wild.
They're making the middle of an arc the climax, which is like, wow. I have never seen anything like this before. Imagine this happening to like any other arc in any other series. They just like rip out the middle and make it the ending. I don't know, like Arlong Park. Luffy fights Arlong like halfway through the arc, and then he has to deal with like Nezumi for the last two episodes.
No, yeah, it's actually like Luffy defeating Arlong, and then you see the Usopp Chu fight.
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
Yeah. So, if you recall, we start this episode with a little recap, but Killua has... Oh, wait, am I out of order here? Hold on, let me make sure I'm actually talking about the right thing. Nope, I'm not. Okay, so this first episode is a total blur to me, I'm not gonna lie. I watched this like on Monday, and it's
okay.
not memorable in any capacity, so I'll be kind of bumbling my way through this one. I will not lie to you guys.
That's okay. I mean... We'll talk about it more as we get through it, but yeah, I mean it's kind of a Hunter x Hunter episode. There's some fun moments, but yeah, it's
yeah.
It sure is an episode.
So yeah, we start the proper episode after like the recap. I mean, well, they're interviewing the ref first of all, the ref that sucked and did not do the right calls.
Yeah, basically elaborating that like it's one of those technical referees that's making calls that maybe he shouldn't have in the best interest of preserving both of the fighters. So
yeah,
you kind of sucked ass, basically.
Yeah, nonsense. He's getting criticized for it. And now we cut back to our main villain group here, which is what they are now.
The main antagonists of Heaven's Arena.
Yeah, here they are. And, it's funny in hindsight looking at all this stuff because none of this matters. Even in the source material, none of what they're saying matters because they're a complete joke. But I guess that's what makes it funny in the end, is all this build up and then they are nothing. It's just, I think, 10 times more funny that these now are the actual final barriers for the arc. So we're getting hyped up for literally nothing. So, they're just being ominous and aura farming and just talking all this shit about like, they can get these wins by cheating and becoming floor masters.
Yeah, they lasted this long, yada yada. It's so funny because like it's like so not believable, just like from their designs alone, that like these guys are anything but chumps. But
yeah, I know.
it's something that's always like always something that kind of got my attention about this part in any adaptation. Is just like these. It feels very intentional that like these guys think they're big shots and then they actually don't even look like it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, they're just scheming and getting ready to do their normal shit that they do. Because they view it as just like once they become floor masters, they're set for life. Yada yada.
They can live a life of luxury.
Yep. And honest to God, it's not even really that like evil of a goal. Like they just like it's cheating, but I don't know. They're just kind of like abusing the system that's in place here. It's
it's not like they're like killing anybody necessarily.
Yeah,
right?
I guess what they do to Zushi later is a little fucked up, but it's also like his life wasn't in danger.
No, that was very intentional. Just like they weren't ever going to kill him. They just wanted to use him to do what they wanted. They're
just chumps who wanna. They're focused on the end goal and they're hardly thinking about the way to get there. They're just doing their best.
Also, they just happened to pick the friend of the wrong target.
Well, yeah, they fucked up.
Anyways, we have Killua versus Darth Maul.
Yeah, Darth Maul is here. What is going on?
I had to like double take whenever I saw this. I was like, who the fuck is that guy?
Like, it's absolutely Darth Maul. Like, obviously, this guy was 100% designed after him. I mean, Phantom Menace was brand new when this shit came out, so he was the talk of the town, and he's even got like a double-bladed some kind of weapon. I don't really know what that is.
The red and black markings on his skin, like
yeah.
This is just
it's a spear. Double-bladed spear. Yeah, it has like covers on the blades. So yeah, this is just some random filler fight that they added here in the anime. Obviously, this is not in the manga. I don't know. It's fine. It looks nice.
It looks nice. Yeah. I was just in confusion the entire time because I'm like, who is this guy? What the hell?
Yeah. Dorado is his name.
Dorado. Right.
So he is a net user. He doesn't really have that interesting of an ability. He just kind of puts aura on his spear tips and
it was specifically said it's like it extends the reach of it. So however that works, I guess. But
yeah,
sure.
So this is a very fascinating addition, but like what is there to say about this? It doesn't really add anything to the story.
He serves as Killua fodder, pretty much. That's it.
Yeah, he just makes Killua look cool, and he does. It has a cool finish. Like he wipes the floor with him. I also like the announcer. She's animated very.
She's very well animated.
In a funny way. Yeah. It's cool. But that's kind of it. It just ends with Killua like staring up and contemplating. Cool. I don't know. Darth Maul. Yeah, there you go.
If you want a Darth Maul and Hunter x Hunter, this is the episode for you.
Yeah, I got some news for you. So
Yeah.
I mean,
He might be like dead too, honestly. I think Killua might have actually like murked him in that
yeah,
attack.
he might be dead. Yeah, they do call for like a stretcher after the match,
Mm-hmm.
like urgently. So Akila was being emo, and they're just they're going in Zushi are like, hell yeah, man, that was awesome, you kicked ass. And he said, yeah, I mean, I won, but the match was kind of stupid and boring. I don't care about it.
I like how like Wing comes in from the shadows immediately after. He's like, "Yeah, I agree, actually."
Yeah, he was just standing there the whole time.
He said,
Yeah,
"True."
yeah, it's yeah. Go. So Keela was talking like Gon's match was way cooler. And then Wing, yeah, he's literally just like, yeah, true facts.
What a master you are.
I love that. And yeah, so it's now this weird dynamic that we have added into the story, mind you, where Gon's match was such a highlight that now like anything they do here beyond that is just like whatever. I mean, we're not going to top that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's also what the audience is likely thinking too. I mean, certainly me. Like, yeah, we peaked there. What is there to do now? So, Killua is basically an audience insert at this point.
It leads to like an interesting like question of like, was that the point of like reordering Gon versus Hisoka like that to kind of for like I don't know why they would want this to be the creative direction, but like it leads a little bit of like I don't know. It makes me question like was that like why they reordered that? They wanted to plant that like question into the audience's mind or whatever. Like they want to make it look like Gon is like so much better than Killua at like just like presenting a good fight.
Maybe. That's. I mean, yeah.
I'm
like,
not saying it was
if they-
serviceable, but
Yeah, but they just really wanted to tell that story for some reason. I don't know why. Like, this doesn't really do much for me personally. I don't know about you, but
no, not really for me either. But like, and it's especially more like obvious whenever we go into the next scene where like Wing is talking with Killua, one-on-one on the balcony.
yeah, and I think I'm just gonna go ahead and skip to that. I mean, there's not really much happening in the room conversation beyond that. It's just kind of going glazing, like legitimately.
Yeah, actually.
So yeah, then they go to the roof or like the balcony. It's like actually it's really weird. It's like a balcony on the roof.
Yeah,
It's really high up.
Oh, one thing I wanted to note before we get into talking about this is Wing had another funny sentence right before this where he's like, Killua, can I talk to you one-on-one, preferably in front of the sunset?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That was like a prerequisite. Like, that's so important. It has to be in front of the sunset.
It's just, yeah. It makes it more inspirational if it's in front of the sunset. So, we learn here that Kilo was kind of beating himself up because he used his like
assassin technique.
Yeah, whatever you call it. Does those have a name? I don't really know exactly, but assassin arts maybe, is that it?
Something like that. I don't know.
But yeah, he used that in the fight to end it specifically, and it made him realize that he's different. He's like an outlier, especially between the two other students here. You know, he's from a elite family of assassins, and Gon and Zusi certainly are not.
Mm-hmm. And so that's making Killua think he's like lesser than them to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
Like he doesn't feel like he maybe has like earned the right to be able to like study Shingen Ryu, which is exactly what he says here. Like maybe I'm not good enough to study that.
Yeah, and you know, Wing just is kind of like, that's not true. Like this style is for anybody. You can. There's no rules to how you apply it. It's just like a way of fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, he says you asked me to teach you Nen, and I agreed. Discover your own path and live your life the way you want. And he says it with a smile.
No.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Basically saying, just follow your own heart, Killua. That, you know, nobody's forcing you to do anything else.
Right on, yeah. And he links it back to his brother too. Of course, you don't gotta live in your brother's shadow. Yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
Classic Killua dilemma. And it's nice to give these two this scene. I gotta admit, I like that Zushi gets to, Wing gets to be a mentor like directly to Killua, because they don't get a lot of scenes together. in the source material. So I like it, but definitely wasn't worth changing around the order of events to make this scene happen.
No, not at all. But there is like something there. I can kind of appreciate it, I guess. But
Yeah, like in isolation, it's nice.
because when you think about this arc as a whole, it really is just kind of Gon centered for the most part, right? Kilo is
Yeah.
kind of a background character for most of it, so it's nice to have a little bit of focus on him and what his mindset is at this point.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. It's cool in that way. Yeah, so it's just this weird thing now where this arc in 99 post Hisoka is just they're just finishing learning Nen. That's it.
Yeah.
It feels so weird.
Yeah. Because at this point, especially with how they presented their training, they kind of know everything already. So it feels very not satisfying at this point for me to see these chumps, all things considered, be fed to Gon and Killua as they are.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So, and it's especially weird because the rest of this arc, spoiler, kind of plays out exactly as it does in the manga. Again, just after.
Yeah, it
Hisoka.
just feels wrong because now, Hisoka was it. That was the end goal, and they left afterwards. That feels natural. That feels right.
Yes, we don't want to do anything else here, so now we're gone.
Yeah. So why now? I get they're just sticking around to learn Nen, but that just doesn't feel like enough to me. It's so weird. This is just, it's all fucked up. I hate how they changed it. We've talked about that plenty, but
Yeah, we don't have to beat the horse with a stick anymore. But
beat the horse with a stick. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. So now the three boys are just kind of talking and hanging out. Obviously, this is leading to Zushi getting kidnapped. They're getting they get in the elevator, and they are greeted by our main villain antagonist group, Aura Farming, with Real Velt on his scooter. Awesome. So stupid.
it's
Yes,
really
and this
stupid.
is we'll talk about the scooter more later, but yes, he is no longer handicapped and in a wheelchair. Instead, he now just rides a scooter because
reasons.
why not, I guess. So they reveal that they want to fight. And, obviously nobody knows who they are. Or, well, actually, just Zushi doesn't know who they are. And he's like, oh, yeah, they're just people from the 200th floor. They already have their whole shtick figured out. They know that they're just people that, go after people, that they think are easy wins so they can climb up the ranks and become a floor master.
Mm-hmm.
So they're insisting on fighting. And we actually get to see Sadaso's ability for a second, which is interesting. I don't even remember if we saw that in the manga, because obviously we never see Sadaso fight, but he kind of he still doesn't have arms in this actually, which is good stuff, I guess. He's the only one that remained crippled.
Well, actually, there was a scene earlier at the very beginning of the episode.
Wait,
he had his arm is literally
Oh my God.
hanging from his coat. He
Never
has
mind.
both of his arms.
he still has both of his arms. Oh my good lord.
Yeah.
What? I just noticed that. That's insane. They had to add the arm coming out of the side of the shirt. They just had to. They couldn't just leave it an empty sleeve.
It makes you question, of all the abilities you could give yourself, why would you just say, yeah, an aura arm?
Yeah.
This guy's
And
so
actually,
dumb.
I'm remembering we do see it again later too, but yeah, whatever. So we did see it once in the source material. I think, at least. But whatever, yeah, dumbass ability. Yeah, so they just kind of part ways, pretty much just blow them off. Because who cares? They're nothing. So then the boys continue to their room where they're practicing their Ren, I think specifically, and they all have. And this is also finally I understand what you guys were saying before. Yes, everybody has an individualized Nen color. It's person to person, not type to type.
Okay. Yeah.
So, not really crazy about that, to be honest with you guys, but it is a thing.
It's something I
Yeah,
can
I
look
guess we
past
gotta
at
get used
least.
to
It's
it.
not the biggest deal in the world. It's just a little weird.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, they're just practicing like normal. Nothing too crazy happens. There is a funny moment where, they're so casually talking about just how awesome and cool they are, and Zushi is just totally stunned. Like, man, this shit took me months, and you guys are just doing it like right here, right now.
That's a real feeling, man. Like I feel for
Yeah,
him.
yeah. Definitely. Anybody who's played like competitive fighting games and stuff would
Oh
know.
yeah.
Or sports, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
to give a less nerdy example.
You have that one friend who just picks it up so naturally, and you're like, man, what the hell? Like, I worked so hard at this.
Yeah. Yep. So Zushi goes home, and along the way, he's stunned by Sadaso's ability. Which, yeah, this is where we see it in action. I forgot about this because it's it's such a memorable scene. How could I forget?
Yeah.
But anyways, Zushi gets knocked out because of that, and the boys pull up and take him away. The
Well, they're
boys
about
as in
to
the
take him.
villains.
Yeah, they're about to take him away. Though.
Oh well, yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
then Killua,
Killua shows up just in time.
Killua, the all-knowing, omnipresent being, shows up and stops them, and he tells them like, I don't even really care about my stats here, to be honest. So yeah, go ahead, you can win if you want.
I'll let all of you win. Just let him go.
It doesn't bother me.
Like, if you really want to fight
yeah.
Gon, you have to wait a month.
Right.
You know? So.
Yeah, he's taking the fall because Gon literally just can't fight right now.
Mm-hmm.
So he's being a homie. And then, they just immediately go and sign up for the matches and give Zushi back, which is so funny to me. Like, this whole thing's just done really right then and there. It's especially about to be done later in the episode, but yeah, it's just.
I will say. I do like part of this scene where they're actually handing Zushi back over or whatever, where Killua is like very obviously trying to threaten them with like, hey, if you break this promise, like I'm gonna kill you, But he doesn't.
Yeah.
He says it in a very he doesn't actually say that, and I like that because it's continuing the whole thing of like he doesn't want to see himself as just like the kid from an assassin family anymore, right? So now he's just saying like he says it here. Where he's like, if you break that promise, well, you'll see. He doesn't want to actually commit to that.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to seem like just like this threatening assassin boy anymore, which I do like. I do like them trying to present him as such. Like he's trying to like actively change his perception of himself.
You're right. That's a great observation there, actually. I like that quite a bit.
That being said, we'll see what happens later.
Well, yeah. So. Meanwhile, and this is a part that's always been like really odd to me. This is in the source material too, but Guido is still threatening Gon even though this whole thing is over. He puts the shoe in front of the door, and he's on the phone with Gon. He's like, "All right, you gotta sign up for a match now. We got Zushi. We're gonna fuck him up if you don't sign up." Even though he's literally in Killua's arms right now and he's fine.
Well, I think the intent was that so they could dupe both of them into signing up for matches to lose, right?
Oh yeah.
Double the wins.
Yeah. If it had worked, yeah, I guess it's just like a backup plan.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, none of it ends up mattering anyways.
No.
Because of reasons we'll talk about soon. So, Killua, it's the next day now, and Killua is just walking through the street, and people are talking about the upcoming match between Sadaso and Killua.
I gotta say, Killua has that shit on. I love this
He
thing.
does. He does. That's a good fit.
The hat especially.
Yeah, it's a great hat. I would love to wear that hat. I don't even wear hats, but it's a nice hat.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
So, yeah, they're just talking, placing bets. Moral of the story is he gets a little bit of intel on who Sadaso is here, just that he's like known as a rookie crusher. Same as Tompa, actually. They have the same profession.
Yeah. They come from the same line of work.
Yeah. And the guy bets 50,000. Or, yeah, 50,000 that Killua will win.
Well, okay, cool. Before that, though, this was how Killua found out that, like, they tricked Gon into registering for matches as well.
Oh, right, because they mentioned the Gon fight, too.
Yeah,
right?
they mentioned these were tickets for Gon versus Sadaso. Yeah.
Yes,
Um,
yes, yeah. Sada's was fighting after, or
yes,
Kilo's
or-
fighting after Gon. Yeah, yeah. So he
Yes,
gets
yeah.
pissed and
He's like, damn that guy.
punches. Yeah, yeah.
Well, really cool shot. Like actually, now that you're getting to that though, where like he's walking by and he's just like very obviously like he has like murderous intent on his mind now, and like as he's like walking back to his place or whatever, he just silently like giant punches a giant sign and it just like cracks all over.
Yeah, it's awesome. He's pissed off.
Yeah.
So he heads back to the room. He's just kind of talking. What even is this scene? I don't remember this at all. What happens here?
He was just visiting Wing and Zushi, and telling how like Wing was thanking him for like bringing Zushi back home, and like it's all like everyone is lying here. It is so interesting to me, because like Kill was like like someone told me that my friend was asleep in the arena, so I found him and carried him back. And, like, I think Wing obviously knows that something else happened to Zushi, but he's kind of playing it off as if that's the actual story that happened too. And Gon's kind of playing along with it as well. So.
Yeah, until they talk alone and Gon figured out everything. He's like, they blackmailed you too, right? So basically, this whole thing amounts to Gon, they talk about how this situation is fucked up and whatever, and Kilo basically just tells Gon he's going to handle it himself and not to worry about it.
Yeah, I got this, pretty much.
Yeah, he's got it covered. And he sure does.
It was a really nice, like, sweeping shot as they were, like, panning to him saying that, too. Gotta give credit there.
Yeah, there is some good camera work in this episode. So yeah, we cut to the day that the match between him and Gon is about to happen.
Yeah, Kilo was just kind of sleeping on the balcony.
He's vibing. He's very calm. He's not worried about a damn thing. Sadaso's getting himself hyped up in the, I guess, the dressing room, wherever that room would be. Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have my 6th and 7th victories, and all I have to do is beat 3 more rookies, and I'm a floor master, and everything's gonna go so well. And then he just really nice sequence of animation here, as Killua enters the dressing room and seemingly chops his head in half.
Yep. It appears that his head has been chopped in half, but in actuality, that is just killing intent. Kilo's got his weird spike hands pointing straight to his head,
which is different from the other source material, or from the source material and 2011, where he's actually in those adaptations holding a knife to his head, but here it's just his finger.
I had thought that, yeah, and it's interesting because it's still like in the animation of his head getting sliced, it's still a knife doing it. So
yeah, so kind of weird there, but
it's odd. Yeah, I guess they just didn't want him to hold a knife. I don't know.
Or
maybe they just wanted to show off the claw hands again because they don't really do it a whole lot.
Yeah, which to their credit, I don't really mind this change. I think it's still completely effective here. So
yeah. But yeah, it's the scene you all know and love. He's just do anything and I'll kill you, basically.
Use Nen, I'll kill you. Make a sound, I'll kill you. Don't be anywhere near me and Gon again. Leave Heaven's Arena. You're not welcome. Do literally anything and I'll kill you.
Yeah. And he does another like killing intent move where it seems like his hand goes straight through his head.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean he's just Sadaso is completely freaked out. And he obviously wants absolutely nothing to do with this anymore. And also, Killua gives this freak ass smile.
Yeah, that he was kind of enjoying that, low key.
He was a little bit, yeah. Definitely just hamming it up to, entice fear within him.
Yeah, which it works.
It worked.
Then we cut to the actual when the match is taking place. Killua is there, Sadaso is not. Everyone's like, where the fuck is Sadaso at? Like, yeah, where'd he go? And then the announcer says, oh, we've just been informed that, Sadaso's not in his dressing room and his entire room has been cleared out and is empty. So.
Yep. He's gone. He has left. So Killua wins by default.
Woohoo.
Which ultimately means nothing because, again, they aren't staying in Heaven's Arena.
No.
But
Neither is Sadaso, I guess.
yeah. And then, we see oh, Kilo throws his hat up in the
Yeah, he
air.
does like a Terry Bogard move.
Yeah, he does. It is a Terry Bogard. And then we cut to Sadaso, like in disguise, being really low key and just kind of walking out of the city as he calls his buddies, and he's like, "Yeah, this guy's a problem. I just have to warn you guys." Like he was probably just gonna dip and say nothing, but he was like, "I just have to tell you guys, this kid is trouble. He has the eyes of a person from the underworld.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it. He will kill us."
Yeah, no, he says like I have one piece of advice for you. Be careful. He's coming for you next. See you.
Yep.
Hangs up.
Yeah.
Very ominous like way to end the conversation with your comrade, your friend. But,
He does thank them for looking out for him this whole time, which is nice.
Yeah, well, as nice as Sadaso can be, but
yeah. But then he hangs up and probably never sees him again.
Yeah.
So that leaves Real Velt and Guido just wondering what to do, and Real Velt is still feeling himself apparently for some reason. He's just like, yeah, I mean, just fuck these kids up, whatever, man. We got this.
We're so close. Yeah.
Yeah, it's right here. We're almost living the life of luxury. And then Kilo.
Well, it's funny because he's like, because Guido's like, well, like, he threatened Sadaso. Like, it kind of seems like a problem. And Revelt's like, well, I bet he's scared to threaten me because he doesn't even know my abilities. So I think I'm chilling. And then Killua shows up in the room. He's like, no, you're wrong.
Yeah.
I just figured I could threaten you literally whenever I want to. So
anytime, anywhere, while you're asleep, on the toilet, eating, whatever, all that, you're fucked.
It's very threatening. I'd be very
it's
too.
Yeah, it's also just the fact that he's a kid. Like you'd think that would make it less scary, but I think it makes it more scary. Hearing a kid say all this shit.
He talks like an adult for the most part too. So like, it's just like creepy. Anyway,
so he leaves the room, and Real Velt is just like, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't do bad things to people. Let's just fight them fair and square.
And we had a weird like animation of Guido with like a pig snout. I don't know what that was about. But...
I thought it was funny. That's it.
Yeah.
Kilo walks out of the room.
Throws his hat off of Heaven's Arena.
Yeah, he throws it again. He loves throwing that hat. I guess he doesn't like it as much as I do.
These animators just really love Terry. That's what I'm getting from it.
Yeah, maybe. So that's that episode. It's fine.
It was okay. Nice Killua moments, That's about as much as I could say for it, though. It was kind of just run-of-the-mill standard stuff, aside from that.
Yeah, it's whatever. I don't know. Like, it's... Obviously, it just has the downside in general of being placed after the Hisoka stuff.
Yeah.
So it kind of just makes it feel even worse than it already was. Like, let's be honest, this is not the best part of Heaven's Arena to begin with. No. And to have it recontextualized into something even dumber is it doesn't do it any favors.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you on that one. It kind of is what it is, Take it or leave it.
I also think the the cool, like the iconic scene here of Killua threatening Sadaso is a little, it's still cool, but I think it's done better in 2011 and the manga personally. It just kind of lacks something to me. I don't know what, but it doesn't.
I think I'd have to revisit the other adaptations to see which one I'd prefer for this one. Because what I do like about this one, I truthfully, I don't remember too much of what it actually looked like in both 2011 and the manga. But it was still serviceable here. I think it had pretty much the exact same effect as it would have as like my first time seeing it. Just like Sadaso's expression, especially seeing how like he's had such a blank expression the entire episode, and then just seeing like the fear in his eyes as they're actually opened as Kill was threatening his life there. I thought it was really neat. So I
Yeah.
think it was still effective for me.
Yeah, that's fair. Just didn't quite land for me, but I mean, I still liked it. It's just I think the other versions are better.
Yeah, completely fair.
So next up is episode 44, Small Fry Cleanup. Exam over. Wow.
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
Just admitting that they're small fry, and that this is cleanup also. Cool.
Awesome.
So yeah, this episode, man, I don't know, like whatever. Let's just get through it.
Yeah, we might not spend that much time on this one, truthfully.
I have next to nothing to say about this one, to be honest, until the end. So they start with the water divination test because we've now passed forward in time a little bit, and they've honed their nen abilities, or not nen abilities. They haven't even started that actually. Yeah, they're Hatsu. So Gon overflows the water a lot more than he did last time, and Hilo's water tastes sweeter or more bitter. I don't know which. Or sweeter.
It tastes very sweet, almost like honey.
Yes. So big improvements.
Yeah.
And with that, oh my God, Wing. Wow, nice that I forgot his name.
He's asking Gon about like, so what strategy are you gonna do against in your fight? You know, like thought of anything?
And he says he wants to use his fishing rod.
Wow.
Yeah, how about that? First usage, and last usage actually in the whole series. So, there we go.
Kind of sad to think about every single time.
Yeah, it is a little
pretty
sad.
Iconic weapon of his, and he just forgets about it.
But again, I will reiterate my headcanon. He stops using it after the revisit to Whale Island, which is where he learns more about his dad, so maybe he just didn't really give a shit anymore about this fishing rod that he was given by him.
True.
It's never stated, but that's my headcanon.
Good.
So, cut to Guido fight, round 2 between the two of them. And, you know, this just feels like shit because this is after Hisoka. This just feels like complete small fry nonsense.
Yeah.
It's also especially weird, again, reiterating, Hisoka happened after Gon fought this guy once and lost. And now we're here post Hisoka and he's fighting him again. And it just feels so wrong because it's supposed to be a landmark. Like, wow, you know, Gon beat this guy finally. So now Hisoka's like, okay, he's improving. He's got this. Let's do it.
Yeah.
But now it's happening after, and he didn't even beat Hisoka. So it's like, what is the progression here? It just feels so whack.
It feels all over the place. It feels unfocused.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, of course, ignoring the Hisoka stuff for once, he does all the, you know, the honed nen abilities, or not, you know what I'm trying to say, nen aspects, and applies them all.
Mm-hmm. His defenses are a lot sharper in general, and catches Guido off guard.
Yep. And he eventually uses his fishing rod to flip the tile, which looks really good, by the way. That's a very nice animation segment.
Yeah.
He goes flying, which, you know, again, it's that thing where that was the first time he used that in the manga. So it's supposed to be this big moment, like, of, you know, going using his brain. But he already did it against Hisoka, just in like a weird spur of the moment thing. So now in the Guido fight is when the announcer's like, there it is, the iconic stone flip. It's just so weird, man. I hate it. It's so incorrect. But then as Guido's laying on his back, Gon's winding up a punch, and Guido's just begging for mercy as he oh wow, you know what, another thing about this is okay,
no
wait.
He seemingly lands the punch. Guido recoils, but he actually just destroyed his top thing he was spinning on.
Yeah, and it's all stupid because, you know, in the manga, again, he breaks his only leg, or not a real leg, but the you know, weird spinning top leg that he has. Yeah. It's the same fake out, but here he just punches this weird ass machine thing. I don't even know what it is.
He has both of his feet.
Yeah, like he could have got up. That's what makes this part even more frustrating, because the whole thing is like, okay, I mean, yeah, if I knock him over, he's kind of done. He can't really get back up. But I mean, he could here. He has working legs.
Yeah, but
So it just
I think
feels.
the intent though is that he doesn't want to get back up after that. Like he's not
Yeah, I
letting him.
guess so.
Because even going threatens him like, you do anything else with my friend again, I'm gonna like punch you that hard in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he doesn't want the smoke.
So he loses. He's done. That's Guido.
That's Guido.
I
Yippee.
think that's actually the last time we see him. So then we cut to, and we're just doing rapid fire through all these fights. That's how this episode goes.
That's how it presents itself too. Yeah. So.
So now we're at Kilo versus Real Velt. And we have Real Velt on his scooter.
Killa has a nice shirt on here for this fight.
He does, yeah. He keeps changing clothes. It looks good. So Real Velt's hyping himself up. He's like, "Man, I'm the king of the ring. I'm gonna show this kid who's boss."
I don't care if he's an assassin. Like the Heavens Arena is my stomping ground. He says, "Okay, man."
Right, man. So Kilo like quickly, darts behind him, and Real Velt uses Aura Burst on his stupid scooter. Oh my god, I hate it.
He looks so dumb on that scooter, man.
Oh my god, I know. Like, why choose to use this if you don't have to?
I like that. Like even Killua is like, like why is he using like Aura for so much Aura for a scooter?
What a weird application of Nen.
Yeah, wasting all his Aura just to whip around on a scooter. That's what he says.
Yeah, literally. Like, you can just do that without Nen, I think.
I think it's. I think it goes to accentuate how like not like at all of a big shot Revelt is, or like how he perceives himself, right? Like he has aura and he chooses to use it on a scooter because he can't actually apply it directly to himself. He's really not all that. He has to rely on external sources for his power, right?
Yeah. So now he pulls out his whips, which have a name, but I forgot what it was.
Twin snakes.
There you go, twin snakes, like Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
So he's just kind of flailing them around, and this is not an N ability, mind you. This is just some weird like technology he has. I don't know, like how or why.
It's like physical prowess, I think. Like it's just no like aura infused within them. He's just whipping them around that fast.
Yep.
Seemingly.
And he tries to throw them at Kilo to hit him, but Kilo catches them. But that's when he reveals the trick up his sleeve, which is that he can send electrical currents through twin snakes, and it's called thunder snakes.
Wow. Picked
But
the
that
wrong guy
again
to
is
use
not.
it on.
Yeah. Again, this is not Nen though. I need to make that clear. It's just electric whips.
Yeah, you just like press a button on the whips.
Yep. You can change like the amount of volts or whatever. Yeah, so he's just like, yeah, I mean, you're dead, bro. Even a giant would collapse from this. And then Kilo just completely no-sells it. He yanks the whips out of his hand and in turn like throws him up into the air as well.
Yeah. Then he monologues a little bit. He's like, obviously, like, this shit does nothing to me, but, like, it still hurts, and so I'm kind of annoyed by this. Like, it's like,
so
well,
kind of pissed off.
Yeah. Makes the observation, too, is like, well, you're really high up in the air now. You're going to die if I don't catch you.
Yeah, so it forces him to, like, beg Kilo to catch him, but he's still holding the whips, so whenever he gets caught, he gets electrocuted. And he's down for the count.
Fitting end.
Very fitting end. So that's that. Now the we do see Guido again. What the hell? And he's actually on his feet.
Yeah.
What a sight that is. But yeah, it's just Real Velt goes back to Guido and he's like, yeah, I lost you, bro. So they're defeated.
We get a small little talk then with Killua and Gon, where like Killua's like You know, you're not going to be able to defeat Revolt like the exact same way. Like, gotta
Right.
probably come up with something else.
Yeah.
Gun's like, I got this. No worries.
Yeah, just completely no sells it, and yeah, that can be said about everything that happens in these 2 episodes. Just no impact. Just they're just going through the motions.
This is also where we find out because Gon broke the little top thing that Guido spun on, he's like unable to actually fight now, and so the Killua versus Guido match is canceled.
Yeah. So that one doesn't even happen at all. And then we cut to Gon versus Real Velt, which is our climactic final battle.
Wow,
of the arc,
this is a fitting end for this arc.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's all been leading to this. What a perfect way to showcase how far they've come with Nen. So Gon just flips the tile at him. Iconic. He dodges. Gon jumps up on him, grabs the whips.
Wraps the whips
wraps
very
around his
quickly.
neck.
Yeah, like, whoa.
Yeah. And he's like, all right, man, I'm just going to turn this up to like, I don't know, like 1,000,000 volts.
He's like, oh, is this the power switch? Oh, let's see. Let's see what happens. And then, Revolt thinks he's switching it on and, like, faints from, like, fear. And then goes like, oh, I was just kidding. Like, wasn't going to do that.
It. That's our final battle of the arc. Gon doesn't even use goddamn Nen in it. Oh my flip. God, bro. Come on with this shit.
It's so fucking weird to have these fights as the final bits of the arc, man. I don't get it at all.
I would love to talk to the director because what the fuck? I just don't understand. How do you let this happen? Ugh.
They fundamentally like just misunderstood the point of Heaven's Arena, I think. I don't know.
So yeah, they literally did. So following those matches is when we have this talk with Wing where he's like, "Yep, I mean, guys, you mastered all the fundamentals. You know, you got all the basics down. Nothing left to teach you. Just keep working at it. You pass."
I gotta say, I really like this scene actually. How it's like,
yes,
like it's actually really well done in like pretty much every regard. I think.
It is. It looks very nice. It's really cool. I like it. Except the fact that it just doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't feel earned after what we just saw. But I don't know. The way Wing's delivery was, the reflections in his glasses, like every time that's on screen, I thought it looked fantastic. The camera work was really good. And also, I don't know if you caught this, they were playing a mixed version of the first ending.
The first ending. Yes, I did notice.
Very, very good. I actually really liked how it sounded.
Mm-hmm.
But it worked. I was like, okay, yeah, this is like, at least we're ending off this arc on like somewhat of a like a nice looking, nice sounding note, you know?
Absolutely, yeah. It is nice. Just weird, man, you know. But it's okay. Yeah. So. It's the thing that bugs me about it is we kind of just have to take Wing's word for it, like all these things he's saying about them, because we just didn't get to I guess the closest thing for Killua is, and this is, you can say this about the source material too, Killua doesn't really get a cool like Nen showcase fight in Heaven's Arena. You can criticize that all you want, that's fair, but we get the Darth Maul fight, so I guess they gave us something.
But even that was like it was barely an application showcase for Killua. It was like the bare bone basics.
The idea of the Hisoka ending is like you can kind of apply it to both of them because Killua had a base level of skill. Like you don't get to really see him use Nen, but we already know that Killua was quite a bit stronger than Gon, so there's not really a reason to show him prove himself because we know he's him.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, yeah. So Wing talks and says they passed the exam, to which they're like, "Huh? What do you mean? We already did that."
This is where we find out. He's like, "Oh well, there's the exam doesn't end with the hunter exam. That's just how the public perceives it. There's actually a secret exam, which is learning Nen. Every hunter must learn Nen. There's some, and Nen, if used for evil purposes, would be very, very bad. So that's why it's kept a secret. Although there's some people who actually learn it before they even take the hunter exam, and it's obviously referencing Hisoka, Ilumi, people like that. And then basically saying, the ways of Shingen Ryu, the Grand Master of that school is actually Netero, who told me about you two. That's kind of how I knew you guys would be here in the first place,
Yeah.
Basically elaborating on literally every question you would have about, like, why this is even happening.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's just this big lore dump, but it's presented really nice. That's not a bad thing. It's actually it's a really cool scene. So they question, like, so how did you know we were gonna be here? Are you like a stalker? Which I thought was a funny moment. But he explains that, like, no matter what, if you pass the hunter exam, you will stumble upon Nen in some regard. Like, no matter what, it all paths lead to the discovery of Nen if you become a hunter. So it was gonna happen one way or the other. He also tells Killua that he's more than eligible for a license at this point. Next time you do it, you're gonna kick ass.
Mm-hmm.
Foreshadowing. And Killua kind of like blushes a little bit about that, which I thought was cute.
And ends it off by saying, you two can go wherever you please now. You've graduated as of today. Congratulations.
Yep. So Gon then asks, how the others are doing, the other people that passed. She says that Kurapika and Hanzo have already learned Nen. Leorio is just studying.
He said he's going to learn Nen after he takes his medical exam, I think.
Implying that he knows about it. He's just not really focused on it right now.
Mm-hmm. And then Pokel is struggling.
Yeah, he's struggling with, what is it, Ren? Yeah,
Ren.
Yeah. He'll get there. We know he will. But unfortunately,
it's always just amusing to me that, like, it's like, Hanzo, Kurapika, and Leorio, they all kind of know what to do. They're on the right path, but then Pokel just catches a random stray there.
Yeah. Poor Pokel. So yeah, he's just basically telling them to enjoy your lives to the fullest. This is where we part ways, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. You're the best students I ever had.
Yeah. How sweet.
Very sweet.
So,
maybe not if you're Zushi. You'd be like, man, what the fuck? But,
yeah, true. But he does address that after they leave.
True.
Don't be discouraged. Just believe in yourself. Very basic ass wisdom, but whatever.
He's like, he basically tells him, like, you're still learning at like an astonishing rate. You're like 1 in like a million. It's just that those other two are like 1 in 10 million.
Yeah, they're just insane. So he vows to catch up, and he says, now you're sounding like my favorite student. Yeah. So we end off here with the boys. That's our. By the way, that's the last time we will likely ever see those two in this adaptation, unless there's some weird thing later, I guess.
Yeah.
So farewell. We hardly knew you. And now we got Gon and Killua just kind of talking, and they're talking about what to do next. And Gon suggests, kind of like shyly, brings up the idea of like, maybe we could like go back to my home island, check it out. And Kyo's like, hell yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I want to meet your aunt. Like, sure, fuck it, let's go.
Hell yeah. We also get to see Kon again, which I thought was funny. I don't know why. It's just like this shot of Mito and actually, who was that old lady?
Yeah, wait a minute.
Am I a fake fan? Who the hell is that? Is that like
Grandma
Grandma?
Freaks?
Like,
I don't know.
I don't remember. I do. Whatever. I don't care. Sorry.
Does it really matter if we know her name, guys? Truly, like,
it probably does to some degree, but whatever. I know Kon. I think that's a better thing to remember personally.
Yeah, I agree.
He says he hasn't been home in over half a year, and they just kind of head off. They're on their way to Whale Island. Next destination.
We see them leave their room, start saying goodbye to everybody as they're walking through Heaven's Arena.
Yep, they greet all the attendees that they've seen along the way. And the
Killa,
one that was in the hallway. Yeah,
Killa like force pushes her hat off her. Like, okay, man, what the hell? How do you do that?
I guess with because that happened when Hisoka did it too. Remember with his
yeah.
Thren.
True.
I don't know why they just do it to her again, but whatever, I guess.
Being tricksters, as we see here, with our final scene of our favorite character in the entire arc.
Yes, so huge reveal here. Also, I love this so much. This is such a great character. So we're circling back around to the shot we were introduced to her with her like kind of like pouting with the boys just chilling in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually kind of just Killua talking here. Which is funny.
It starts off sweet. He's like, thank you for everything. If we get short on money, we might be back. You might see us again.
However, I do want to say that Killua was banned, so I don't know why the hell he said that. he literally cannot come back now, but sure. Whatever. I guess the 99 staff forgot about that detail.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, just says, he says, yeah, by the time we come back, maybe you'll be a floor master.
Your name in the ring could be Gorilla Girl.
Yeah, or Redhead Yeti. So
she's obviously getting annoyed with this.
Yeah, Gon's trying to get him to stop because he knows what's happened all the other times.
Yeah, he's having flashbacks. Like, no, dude, don't do it.
Yeah, and Kila's like, well, yeah, but we've become Nen users since then. So like, what the hell she's gonna do? We can just use 10. We'll be fine. But then she keeps talking.
Yeah, he's like, besides, isn't it our responsibility to tame a wild and violent gorilla like her?
Yeah. So, obviously, this final line sends her over the edge as aura begins to flare from her. And they are both stunned. And they're like, oh my god, she could use Nen. And so she turns around and says, take this, Elevator Girl's atomic bomb attack. As oh my god, it looks so good. This amazing animation with like explosion trails and like a nuclear bomb effect.
I cannot stress how hard I was laughing at this.
Yeah,
when I saw it.
That was actually my favorite scene of this entire adaptation.
Yeah,
so far.
Same.
That was amazing. What a great payoff. I love actually confirming that she has Nen. That is incredible.
So funny. Even if you don't take it seriously and just as like a bit, it's like yeah, like you said, the ultimate payoff to that entire joke.
Yeah.
Love that.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
I was laughing so fucking hard whenever I first saw that. Yeah, so they step out of the elevator. She's like, "Yep, we're on the first floor," and they're beaten to death on their faces, obviously. And Killua says, "I think she's stronger than Hisoka."
Yep.
And then Gon says, "How come I got hit?"
Yeah, I love that so much. He didn't even do anything.
Favorite scene in the entire series, like bar none.
Amazing. They nailed it so much. And then we end with the boys saying goodbye, Heaven's Arena. And that's it. That's the episode. So amazing. Just because of the elevator girl scene.
Yeah, like that alone bumps it up to like a 10 out of 10 for me. I don't know about you. But no. Yeah, I mean, like, it's a whatever episode aside from the elevator girl scene, which was peak, and the wing, Zushi goodbye scene with Gon and Killua. I thought that was really sweet too.
Basically like the last, I don't know, like third of the episode is pretty good. Nothing even like that crazy, but it's fine.
Yeah, it was good, but like just the rest of the episode was just like weird because like it's just chump fights to end off the arc. It just does not feel right at all. Super
weird. I don't know. Just didn't really fit.
No.
And yeah, so Heaven's Arena in general, briefly. I don't want to spend too long on this because we've talked about it a lot, but just it's botched in this adaptation big time. It doesn't flow right. It doesn't really, like, the big moments don't really land, and the additions to the narrative that they have forced in, like baked into the story, it's not like separate filler like it was in Hunter Exam.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not good. I don't think it adds nothing. Like the whole angsty emo Killua after the Darth Maul fight it's like fine, but why add it? Did we really need that?
Yeah.
And
I
just
feel the
honestly,
same way.
yeah.
Just
And then-
unnecessary for the most part. And all in the service of like doing something different with just like presenting the I don't know. Nothing about how this arc was structured in 99 makes sense to me at the end of the day. And that's kind of my takeaway from this arc as a whole.
Yep. Yeah, just a structural mess, truthfully.
Which is a shame. Because I expected a lot out of Heaven's Arena for this adaptation, like
Me
going
too.
into it. But it is what it is at the end of the day.
But now, my friends, we have escaped, and we are on to peak.
Yes,
We
and
have
oh man, what a dude.
Ah.
Okay, general first impressions before we go into the episode as a whole. Did you also feel like the entire vibe shift happened like throughout this episode, just like the direction of it as a whole?
Yep.
Okay,
This-
I wanted to make sure because wow, it felt much different than any other episode in this entire series so far.
This is 100% a tone setter for Yorknew, and it is so good at it. Like, most of this is original content, actually. Like, half of this episode is original content, not in the manga. But it's amazing. It's actually phenomenal. I love this episode a lot. I might even say this is my favorite we've seen so far.
I might as well. It's pretty good. We should get into it and just like
Yeah,
start
so-
discussing it. But ooh,
Yeah, so this is episode 45, of course, which is called Limitation, Vow, Chain of Judgment.
yeah. I wonder what this episode will be about.
Yeah, no idea. So, we open on Kurapika. We have no recap, by the way,
None.
which is awesome. Love that. Love that. We just start with Kurapika talking
He starts
about
off
how
with the
he...
coldest line of all time. I need to point that out. Where he says, "I want more strength, enough
Yes.
strength to." Wait, I lost my thing.
capture the
and-
demons that bring suffering to this world.
And lock their souls in
and
hell.
lock their souls in hell. Yeah.
God, so good.
Awesome. So cool. As we see him conjuring a chain from his hand. Except it's like, so this is all like metaphorical. I guess this is like mind palace type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the chains are like forming all around him. They're just spreading all over the place. He's also naked. So
Yeah,
there you go, guys.
something to note.
Some fan service. And oh my god, it's so fucking cool. So the chains are just like going all over the floor and then up around him and like chaining him up. He's just like hanging there. They're putting a lot of effort to not show anything other than like his face and legs.
Yeah.
But
No Karapika cheeks, unlike Hanzo.
yeah, unfortunate. Very unfortunate. And then he opens his eyes, and we fade to the title card. After the title card, we find ourselves in a train station. So right off the bat, totally original stuff. This is not in the manga, but what a vibe! And he's in his Yorknew City fit. Looks fantastic. He looks so good. This is my boy.
Love it.
God, I love Kurapika so much.
We're out of the red outfit now, thankfully.
Yes, red outfit's gone. I don't want to hear anybody talk about it ever again.
It was
No
cool for
more.
like 2 episodes, and then I was tired of it. So
Yeah, basically. So this whole episode, it'll be kind of weird to recap because we're kind of cutting back and forth between 2 different periods of time. Well, more than 2 technically, but we're in the present with the train, and then we keep cutting back to showing how he got here.
mm-hmm.
So we're first seeing, which is a scene we already saw actually in the just like I think that was last batch, yeah, where he's in his stupid ass red fit and he's trying to get a job, and the lady says that can't until you see what's over my shoulder. Fair enough.
Yep.
So he leaves, and Oh, actually, now we're back to the train again. This will be a little weird to recap, but we're in the train now again in the present, where he's sitting down in his seat, and he wait, what? He's pulling out a book. What is this book?
Just reading a book.
Just
I don't know
reading a
if they
book.
ever
Okay.
elaborate
Sorry.
what he's reading. Yeah.
I thought Melody came in here, but that's after the next one. I think,
But
at least.
He's thinking to himself though, and he's talking about how, like, you know, back then, you know, he was trying to like wander into an airport without his passport. You know, like he didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't have any proof that like he had discovered men. Basically, is what he's trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
He was unaware of what actually was needed to happen in order to get where he needs to go.
Yes. So we are now cutting back to the past, where he has already met his teacher, who we know as Izunavi.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get his name here, obviously, because that's not revealed till a very, very long time. But
yeah,
we know his name.
You know him here basically as Karapika's master.
Yeah. We don't get to see how they meet, which I mean, it's not really that big of a scene, so whatever. But yeah, he has an nen teacher who is voiced by Kozuki Yao, Dylan, who you will know as Frankie.
What in the world? That does okay. I hear it now. I think now that you mention it, but man, that really was a long time ago, huh?
Yeah, it's I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about this because like I had like a shockingly like emotional response to hearing his voice again.
Whoa.
Like not fucked up because of cigarettes. I got like actually like legitimately emotional for a minute. I don't know what it was. It was just like hearing him young again, like the way I heard him as a kid, you know, watching One Piece subbed on fucking Kiss Anime and like watch OnePiece.net. It's just, I don't know, something about it really hit home because damn, he really just fucked himself up for like 20 years and never stopped. He used to be such an amazing talent, man. He's so good. Damn.
Bittersweet.
Yeah, it's nice to hear him again here, though. He's not dead, by the way. If you don't know, he's fine. He's just it sounds like shit because he didn't take care of himself. Anyways, that's my Kozuki Yao rant. So Izunavi, who is what I will refer to him as because we all know his name here, I think. He is explaining that Kurapika is a conjurer and that they can materialize things. And by the way, I want to mention just as a blanket statement, I think everything Izunavi says is like 100 times more clear than anything Wing said.
Yeah, and that feels wrong, honestly.
Yeah.
Because like how I remember it in 2011 specifically, it was that like Wing explained everything so well, like how they presented like him just like teaching Gon and Killua everything about Nen, and then Izunavi started is basically just like, okay, did you forget everything? Let me just like recap everything real quick, like in this
like really quickly. But now
here
they've
it feels like
expanded
more
the
fleshed
scenes.
out.
Yeah, they make the Izunavi stuff a better explanation of Nen, which is just really playing into that 99 Kurapika bias. Like it's almost impossible to argue against at this point. Because like really just look at how Heaven's Arena was treated compared to like basically what amounts to a filler episode with Kurapika. It's hilarious. Like
it's insane.
Wow. But thank God for it, honestly. So Kurapika's just kind of like bummed out, really, that he's a conjurer. He wanted to be an enhancer, but nothing you can do about that. Just born into it.
And we fast forward a little bit where Kurapika is like taking the water divination test and like he's forming like crystals in the water or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, whatever the conjurer thing is, right? And Izunavi comes up behind him. He's like, "Oh wow, I'm kind of impressed how fast you mastered this. And congrats, you passed the secret exam. There's no more I can teach you." And Kurapika's kind of really mad about this. He's like, "No, I don't want this to be over. Like, I need to learn how to like actually like fight with this power."
He says he wants to fight on his own, is what he says. That's an important aspect. Which, you know, again, this is something we actually learn a lot later in the Succession War flashback. We get like a continuation of this scene where he elaborates that all of his abilities are catered towards himself fighting alone.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas he gives himself the 1. We know stealth dolphin and all that, but that will not be important in this adaptation, unfortunately.
No.
So yeah, he denies the passing of the exam. He's like, I not done here. There's more I want to learn. There's more I want to figure out. Which brings us, are we back to the present? Yeah, we're back to the present again. Oh,
Very
for
briefly.
just 3 seconds where he flips
Yeah.
through a book. Great, that was definitely worth mentioning. So we're back to the past, probably a little further in time now, and Kurapika's bummed the hell out. He's looking really down as Izunavi is explaining the Nen types and just like, their relation to each other, how, on the opposite end it's less effective, yada yada.
Mm-hmm. Like depending on where you're at, you'll have better time learning abilities of one type compared to another.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like looking at the chart here, like we don't visualize on the chart like which one is like which unless you read Japanese. But like knowing where Conjurer is on the chart, you could tell that like even if Kurapika wanted to learn like enhancer type abilities, he'd only be able to learn it at like 60%. So like,
Right.
he wouldn't be able to get maximum value out of it.
Which is lessons we should have learned from the Castro fight. But,
Yep, we should have. Did not really. They glazed over that.
So Kurapika gets kind of hung up on the whole specialists thing. He's like, what's the deal with that? Why are they so special? Like why can they basically just do whatever the hell they want?
Or like why specifically like why is that at like 0%? Like why is like
yeah.
And Izanavi explained specialists are just different. Like
yeah, they're built different.
It's not something you can learn. The traits are usually inherited. Like special circumstances.
Yeah, sometimes you can like later in life you can become a specialist. Your Nen type can change.
It's placed where it's at because it's more likely for conjurers and manipulators to later turn into a specialist.
Right.
So telling Crawford basically like hey, that could happen to you potentially.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know.
Don't give up hope. We also get a cool shot of Kurapika's little swords.
Yeah.
Just in the water. So nice to see them.
Yeah.
Last time we'll ever see them, I guess. But it's cool that they were acknowledged. So that kind of gets Kurapika into gear a little, but also not really. He's still just feeling shitty.
Yeah.
He's like empty. But he does realize at least that his ideas for what he wants to do isn't completely like squashed. It's not like he can't do what he wants to do, but he just feels that he can't do it as effectively as he had wished.
Mm-hmm.
As Izunavi continues to explain, like, is this about? Oh yeah, emotions factor into Nen. So that's foreshadowing what will happen later with the red eyes.
Yep. Saying it might enable something beyond 100% even.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, he's saying a lot of stuff about this, but it's basically coming down to Nen is a very complicated subject, and there's a variety of variables and factors that go into determining your power with Nen.
Right. So he's now looping back around to explaining what he can do as a conjurer. He's saying like, you can summon a sword that can cut through. Well, you can't summon a sword that can cut through anything, but you can summon a sword that is really sharp. But at that end, like, why don't you just buy one?
Yeah, why would you waste energy producing it?
Yeah. So conjurers often struggle with, the aspect of developing their Hatsu and making a Nen ability because,
you want to find
be
sweet
creative.
Spot.
Yeah. And yeah, you can't just commit to summoning something that you can just buy. Like, what's the point?
Mm-hmm. Well, you could, but yeah, again, like, what's the point?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely can. It's
ability.
just, that's just like, what the hell? Like, you're literally just, you become a sword fighter then at that point, and that's kind of your whole shtick. You're not even really using Nen.
Yeah, and so to that end, he asks Kurapika, like, what object are you going to conjure then with that in mind? Like, you have some consideration to do there.
Yeah. So with that, we don't get to see his answer, but we know his answer. I mean, from the first second of the episode. But
and in fact, we see chains literally on his hand in the next scene when we cut back to the train. So
Yep. As we see Melody come through the door. So here's our
Yeah.
first look at Melody. Looks good.
Sound-
I like her hair color, actually. I kind of like this better than 2011, to be honest. But
Doesn't really matter for me. She sounds exactly the same too. So
yeah,
yeah.
super similar. Like, I know it's a different actress, but man, that's a very, very similar performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks like Melody. And neither of them know at this point. I love this how they get to meet before the job. That's a cool little
Yeah. Just
detail.
like a nice
I think it's
introduction
adds
to
a
one
lot.
another.
yeah. So nothing much here for this particular scene, but we oh no, sorry, we continue. It's hard for me to remember when they cut away and when they don't, but yeah. So this continues, and the two of them they talk. They're just kind of saying like. Their destination is the same place. They don't really know, like, they don't know that they have the same job quite yet. I assume we'll learn that. Well, actually, that won't be next episode. I don't know when we'll see this again, actually, because we got to do the Whale Island stuff next.
In the near future.
Yeah, probably 2 batches from now, I'd predict. So Karapika says that he does not need companions right now. What he needs is a strong will and power to reach my goal. So classic.
Man.
Emo Karapika stuff, yeah.
Yep.
As we cut back to the past, where Izanavi's, we're past the answer where he said chains, and Izanavi's like, chains? What the hell?
He's like, that's a weird one. I don't know about that, man.
Yeah. And by the way, there's a really cool. I love how this shot or this conversation is shot because they're just like you see the reflections in the water, and that's it. You don't see them actually. It's just, it's neat. It's nothing like crazy or inventive, but it just looks nice. So yeah, he says that chains were the first thing he thought of whenever he learned that he was a conjurer, and it's because there's so many of them roaming free in the world, they need to be chained up and sent to hell.
And Izanavi rebuttals is like, really? Like, it seems like the one bound up in chains is you, man. Like,
preach.
you okay? Everything good over there?
Karapika gets pissed off, storms away, and as he's walking, Izanavi's just yelling like, "Come back here! I'm the master. Listen to me. Show some respect." And he keeps talking and talking like the whole time. Karapika's having this inner monologue. He's still screaming in the background. It's just so funny. Shut up, bro. You don't gotta talk that much, man. So back to the present. We are seeing the conductor enter the room, or not conductor, just like a attendant or whatever, coming to punch the tickets. And Karapika holds up his hunter's license along with the ticket as a form of identification, I guess. And the kind of, there's a noticeable shift in the guy. He's like, oh, that's a hunter's license. So make a note of that.
Mm-hmm.
He verifies that is in fact real. Punches the ticket. Actually, he does not punch the ticket at all. He just gives him back the ticket.
Yeah, it's like, oh, sorry, sir. My mistake.
Yeah. Doesn't even check Melody at all. I guess, I don't know, somebody must have like flagged Karapika.
Yeah, that's kind of how I read it. Like somebody tipped him off,
Yeah.
But
we
see he's
the
on the
attendant
phone
on
with
the
someone.
phone.
Yeah, immediately after doing that.
Interesting. As we then cut back to the past, where Izanavi and Karapika are around a fire. Or actually, is it just Karapika? No, it's both of them.
It's both of them, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, he kind of is. He's figuring out Karapika's whole shtick at this point. He's like, so you're looking for revenge. I can tell. I'm not your master for nothing,
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. He brings some fish to cook. I don't eat fish, but that kind of looks good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, low key.
Like, looks like crispy. I don't know. It feels like it'd be a nice meal. At this stage of the game.
I hope he like descaled them though. That'd be a little weird if he didn't.
Kind of looks like he didn't, but
wow, maybe it's not that good then.
Hey, you never know. Are you a fish guy? You like fish?
I like fish. It's not something I'd go on my way for generally, but I like fish. I like salmon specifically. Salmon's good.
Never had salmon.
I recommend it, especially if you can find some like marinated salmon, like at the grocery store or something. It's very nice. I like it.
maybe I'll give it a shot. I want to eat more fish.
It's I like to include it in like my rice bowls generally. So I'll make like a bowl of rice and have some salmon in it as protein. It's really good.
That actually probably would be good in rice.
Yeah, I recommend it. You should try that sometime. It's a good meal.
I think I will. Yeah. I mean, I like shrimp. That's kind of
Well, there you go. If you like shrimp, you'll love salmon. I think
okay.
it's very close. Yeah.
Salmon
Anyways.
talk, guys. That's what you.
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
You,
This
that's
is
what
what
you
you
listen
signed
to
up
this
for.
podcast.
Anyways,
So we're back to the present again.
or no, we're still in the
Carpet
past.
doesn't really-
We didn't really talk about how Izanabe was like talking about revenge specifically.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah,
revenge
sorry,
will get
sorry,
you
sorry.
nowhere.
Yeah.
I like this part specifically because he has a sentence that really, you're like a butterfly that's only getting tangled up even more in a spider's web. And then we see a little shot going over the fireplace. It kind of fades into existence slowly with the butterfly actually trapped in a spider's web.
Literally the Attack on Titan thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is a really cool scene. I like this, kind of wizened Izanagi approach. We don't really get to see this side of him in the source material because we see very little of him.
Yeah, we saw like 5 minutes of him total, but this episode, just like being a focus of the episode, makes it really more like it makes this part a bit more engaging to me, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, the presentation is just off the charts. It's so nice to look at.
Oh yeah.
So, back to the present now, we have Melody kind of, vaguely speaking. She's like, what a cold and sad tune. So, it's this implication that she can, feel something or hear something within him, like read emotions. We don't know yet. We know, but to the audience, this is presented in a really interesting way because you're not supposed to know who Melody is yet, but we're getting a vibe here that she's probably an end user at least. So she's talking about how, his heart just sounds sad, and that she says, it's the tune that your chains make. It conceals strong feelings. So that's a neat line. I like that.
Yeah, it's a good line. There's a lot of just like good lines in general in this episode. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It makes you wonder, like, can she hear like the fact that there are literal chains around his heart? I wonder because she reads hearts. I don't know. I wonder.
Curious.
But anyways, back to the past. Kurapika's like starting to summon chains. He gets like a little bit out, but doesn't fully finish. And Izanagi's like, well, I mean, yeah, it's a long road. You gotta like live and breathe chains if you want to do this. Like you gotta, your whole life is chains for a while.
Yeah, like you gotta like conjurers have to imagine things down to like the tiniest detail. Like even the subatomic levels of an item or of any given item has like a vast amount of energy. So like, it's just something you gotta have to practice and really expand your imagination on to get right.
Sounds really damn hard. I would not want to be a conjurer.
Yeah, that sounds like the hardest one to master by far, at least from like how everybody talks about these things.
Yeah. But Izanagi being supportive, he says, I'll be around as long as it takes. As your master, it is my duty.
What a good guy.
Yeah, seriously. It's cool because even though he doesn't fully agree with what Kurapika's doing, even like just the aspect of wanting to summon chains, he's doing it. He's letting his student experiment and do stuff. It's cool. Back to the present. It's starting to rain outside, and Melody takes note of that, saying that it's kind of changing the vibe in here. It's got a melancholy feeling. And that's it. But
yeah, a nice little shot of like the rain on the window.
It just looks good. I don't know. It's just nice. Like, there's a lot of scenes in this episode that are just like, it's a thing that happens and that's about it. But it just adds to the tone. It's a tone again. As I said before, it's a tone setter episode.
The vibe of this episode is immaculate, all things considered.
Absolutely, yeah. It's amazing. This is emphasized by this next scene, which is, oh my god, so good.
Yeah.
So, back in the past, it's all just completely visual metaphor stuff. So explaining it is a little weird, but I'll do my best. So Kropika's standing there trying to summon chains, and the aura is appearing red around him, which I guess that's his color, by the way, is red, which makes sense. And
he's under a waterfall too. Like
yes,
symbolically.
yeah, which just looks so cool. The aura kind of like flows up into the moon. The moon becomes an eye. The eye fades, and it's his own eye.
And it transposes onto his own face.
Yeah, yeah.
We have like blood kind of filling up the screen. Dude, might sound so weird us describing this right now, but like
it's a really hard one. It is. Well, this next shot is like that is literally Ava. So he's this insane. I assume to be a painting of. I don't even know what it is, to be honest.
It looks insane.
It's just like a bloody moon dripping into a lake, and Karopika's floating in it, like halfway submerged as he sinks in further, and then we cut away from it. Whoa.
I got kind of like chills whenever I saw it.
Yeah, that was awesome. It's like I don't know what exactly it means. Like, I'm sure if I really sat down and thought about it, I could come up with something, but it's just so cool. Even without knowing the subtleties of it right now, just looking at it, I can appreciate so much just as a tone setter. I keep saying that, but this whole episode is a tone setter, and that scene in particular is maybe like the crowning moment of setting the tone for what is about to come.
Absolutely. Completely agree.
So cool. So Izanavi wakes up after that scene. He might have already been awake. I don't know. He was laying down. He gets up. Kind of puzzled look on his face as we now cut to the next morning, I think, or maybe just it's still that same night. I can't really tell. But Kropika decides to bite his finger and let the blood trickle down below into the river. He activates his Nen, and the chain, like from the cut, forms.
It's like he does it. Gives off like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man vibes. Like, dude, there's something the chain from your finger. Okay.
Actually. You're right.
Feels a little weird, but
it's weird. Like, he has to like break free his skin for the chain to come out.
Yeah.
It's not like, what's happening, but it does read that way.
It set my mind in a little bit of like that direction. I was like, oh, that's like odd, like visually, but like I get the metaphor, obviously, of what it is actually representing.
Yeah, it's probably just like, he feels chained up inside, so it's like, oh, I mean, if I just like open a part of my body, it can just like come out.
Yeah, like open a pathway, basically,
Yeah, it's just like helping him visualize how to make these chains.
And then he falls into the river
does it
promptly.
Yeah. He
lost all his energy.
Falls in, and it looks so cool with all the chains in the water just like floating around, and they fade away as he probably like loses consciousness. He's just thinking back to that spider caught in the web, or the butterfly caught in the web with the spider, rather.
See this cool shot of him like face down in the water too. It seems like blood is just like kind of like flowing off from from him as he's like flowing down the river. God, the scenes in this episode are so well animated and directed. I love it a lot.
Yeah, just looks so great. Then Izanavi picks him up out of the river, sets him down on the shore. He just kind of looks on the sunset with a cigarette, actually. I didn't know he's a smoker.
Yeah, whoa. Okay. Well, I mean, it makes sense considering who he's voiced by.
Yeah, you're right. They added that in just for Kazuki Yao. He was like, I cannot voice a character that doesn't smoke. Sorry, guys.
Does this mean that Frankie canonically smokes?
He has to, yeah.
I'd believe it, to be
honest.
I mean,
you hear his voice until he got recasted by Toto.
That means he quit smoking at that point.
Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, just make a total recovery. So, yeah, Izanavi is just imparting some wisdom here again, with cigarette in mouth. He says,
I'm proud of your progress, but like, you gotta, you don't exert yourself too much. You can't get revenge if you're dead. That's what he says.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Wise
And then
words.
Kurapika's emo again. He's like, you wouldn't understand,
Yeah, you just don't get it, man.
But he does get it. He's like, you want to become a blacklist hunter, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Reads him like a book.
That's right. Well, also, the Hunter Association literally told him, as he said.
Oh, yeah, true. Okay, he actually read a book, basically.
Yeah.
I forgot
But
about that.
this, anyways, this leads to him explaining that, you can do cool shit, but you need to set a binding vow to, make it work.
It's
So
one of the
that's
basic principles of Nen. You gotta
Mhm.
if you want like really great power, it's gonna have to be at a cost.
Yeah, and it's cool that he waits till he gets chains, not down, but he at least summons chains to tell him this aspect of it. It's it's a good teaching method, obviously, because it makes him hone in on one thing before he gets lost in the sauce on another thing.
Yeah. It also gives him like the agency of like, if you're sure you want to go down this path, then like, at least you have something to use if you choose not to,
Right. So yeah, he just explains the whole concept of like Nen contracts and stuff like that, about how it's a double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
You could risk a lot by doing this if you set a unreasonable.
Yeah, it tells him it's the opposite of seeking balance.
Right. Yeah. So briefly back to the present for a really cool scene, I think, as long as it sticks around the whole way through. I'm not actually sure at this very moment, but the guys, the attendant that made the phone call welcomes in some dudes with guns who are ready to take Kurapika out, as Melody notices that there are, was it like 6 people or something? Yeah, 6 of them.
Yeah. Yeah, she describes this to Kurapika too. She's like, I hear 6 people. They kind of, or what was the exact like wording that she had?
Like she assumes that they're coming to steal his hunter license,
Yeah.
and
There are
she
6
can
of them.
she can hear 6 of them. Their heartbeats are calm and steady. She can tell that like they're very experienced. And Kurapika's like, oh, so there's 6 of them. Thanks. I couldn't tell the exact number. He already knew, but he just didn't know how many. He's just like, don't worry, I'll be all right. Then he
I'll
has
be right
a
back.
awesome scene here. So he's using dowsing chain here, which we can with foresight knowledge we can assume what he's doing here. But basically he can feel out how many people are out there, where they are. And so oh wait, we don't get the whole thing. We cut back to the past again. Damn it.
Yeah, this one is weird to navigate.
Yeah, this is. Sorry if I'm like completely bumbling my way through this one. This is a lot harder to recap than I even imagined it would be. I'm doing my best. It's all over the place. Back to the past. Kurapika's explaining that his goal. He's just solidly proclaiming his goal to Izunami, that he wants to capture all the spiders and reclaim the eyes of his people. We know this. Izunami sure didn't, though. And he wants to use the chains to, latch on all the spiders, send them to hell, yada yada, lock them up.
Isn't obvious? Just kind of like, that's it. Like that's the only thing. Like.
Yeah. So he's saying he can only use the chains on the spiders. Yeah. So it's like, that's kind of weak. That's your limitation.
Yeah, like, not a very good limitation. He's pretty much saying. And then Kurapika turns around. He has the scarlet eyes. He means business. He's like, no, that's not it. I'll stake my own life on that limitation.
Yes.
Whoa. Okay.
And we don't actually get the revelation in this episode, which surprised me. But I mean, you can tell the exact moment here where Izunami realizes that, oh shit, when his eyes turn red, he's a specialist. But yeah, they don't mention that yet, which is interesting. I guess we'll get that later.
Yeah. Not that I really mind that. I feel like you can kind of that's a reveal that you could choose to reveal before any pivotal moment with the scarlet eyes, and it'll be just as effective.
Yeah, I have a feeling, it's just a gut feeling, that maybe they'll go back to that like right before the Uvo fight.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would be fine.
Yeah.
Honestly, might be preferable even. Actually, is that where they usually reveal that, or did they reveal it like here in the manga? That might be something we have to double check.
See, now I'm forgetting. In my head, it's all a continuous thing. Like we see this Izunami flashback, and that's it. We don't go back to it until Succession War.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. I could have double checked, but I wasn't really thinking about it.
One of us will have to remember to check that at some point.
Yeah, I'm curious. But anyways, now we're back in the present where Kropik is just totally wiping the floor with these dudes. He knocks knife and gun out of two of their hands.
Yeah.
And they're just like, well, shit.
He gives us it. He's like, okay, back off. We're done.
Yeah, we're done. And Kropik closes the door and he's like, yeah, well, I mean, they analyzed it very quickly. You're right. They were definitely professionals. They knew when to back off.
Yeah. He's like, well,
Which is
yeah,
cool.
thanks to your help, didn't have to, get too into that fight. I was able to scare them off with minimal threat. So, thank you.
Yeah. And, then we cut back after that Izunavi scene, but not with Izunavi now. We're back to the... Again, I still have no idea what to call her. Just a lady that makes jobs for...
A lady that makes jobs.
I don't know. That finds jobs. She says...
The Sengi Guild is the name of the building.
Right. So... She's just explaining her. Well, she recognizes him first of all. Kropik's like, "What the hell? How?" But she's like, "I mean, not many people really come through here. I've only had one other person since you were here 6 months ago come in. So yeah, I definitely remember you." Which is crazy. Like, what the hell does she do all day? She actually just sits in that chair and does nothing for.
I want that job.
Like,
yeah,
give me that. How much does she make, bro? And then whenever somebody does come in, all you gotta do is like point your finger and be like, "Do you see that?" And then if they do, you just find them a job, and that's it. That's the whole job. God damn, bro. Give me that shit.
Yeah, as long as it pays a little well, like...
Yeah.
I'll do that job.
You know how much manga I could read for that job? So, yeah, she asks what kind of job he wants, and he's like, anything related to the Yorknew auction. Don't care what. Anything. Anything, bro. Seriously. Does not matter. And she's like, well, I mean... you're an inexperienced hunter. This is literally your first job. No, that's a, high stakes auction. A lot of big people. I don't know how many people are really gonna want somebody as inexperienced as you.
But she did manage to find three applicable clients that would be willing to work with someone of his experience.
Yep. And we don't get to see which one he chooses of the three. Not like it really matters. I don't even think we know the other two ever. Maybe they were said at some point, but I don't know. But we know it's the Nostrad family. We'll get there. We just hasn't been said yet. And then back to the present once again, where they're on the train. They've reached their destination. They get off the train, and they Melody's saying that, like, thanks to you, this trip was like more fun than I expected. It was just like a in hindsight, I don't really know what was fun about it, really, but it was.
Yeah,
I guess
kind
it
of
was
just
just...
sat in silence most of the time. It read like so.
Yeah, but whenever you're someone who can read hearts, I would imagine reading Kurapika's heart would definitely be an interesting experience. I don't know if I use the word fun, but it would be. It'd be so like on-flight entertainment at least.
But we do basically end off the episode here with Melody's being like, I hope we see each other again soon, like, and Kurapika's all emo again. He's like, I gotta go. I got work to do,
Yeah, because Melody also says that like a journey shared with others is cool or whatever. I don't know.
Yes, something along those lines. And Kurapika
better like, shared with, yeah. It's like, yeah, I don't
standard
know
Kurapika stuff. Yeah, no, I'm good. I just be myself and I.
Yep. As they part ways and they'll never see each other again. What a shame.
Yeah, never ever. Fantastic episode. Wow.
Yep. I did a dog shit job of recapping it, I will admit, but that is a fantastic episode. Yeah, seriously, I'm not the best recapper in the world, I'll be the first to admit, but this episode in particular, man, wow, that was hard. Sorry.
There's so many jumping forward and backwards in time, but like This is one you kind of just have to watch yourself to really get, I think. None of the words we did to describe how this episode played out really does it justice, I
Yeah.
think, for how well directed and animated it was.
Yeah, it's just so stunning, beautiful. Every shot, seriously, every scene, every shot, every moment of this episode is beautiful and has some kind of meaning. Even if we didn't understand it, I'm sure there was something there. Even that scene where they like literally just like Krapiga opened a book and that was the whole flash forward. There was probably something there. I don't know. Maybe we missed something. It's just such a well thought out, well made, well directed episode. I love everything about it. I really genuinely think this is my favorite episode we've watched so far.
I agree, I think. Yeah, I got no issues with it. You can, and again, you can definitely tell the moment they hit this episode, the animators like jumped out of their seats in excitement to work on it, because
Yeah.
yeah,
Krapiga, dude.
yeah,
They're about to have a field day.
yeah. Well, after we get past Whale Island, I guess.
Well, yeah, we gotta get Whale Island first.
It was fantastic though. Loved every second of it. And I can't wait to see more of Yorknew now.
Yeah, I'm so very excited. This is the best way we could have possibly been introduced to this. Like, oh god, I'm just so pumped. It's gonna be amazing. Everything about Yorknew with this vibe is gonna be so sick. Like, if this is what we can expect, which I know it is. I mean, I've heard enough good things about this arc to know that this is only the beginning of what we can expect to see from this arc, and I can't wait.
All right.
Well, I think with that, we're unless you have any final thoughts, Dylan.
No, you pretty much said everything that was on my mind, so I'm in agreement.
All right, I guess with that, we are ready to see what you guys had to say then.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, now it's time to hear what you guys have to say, or read what you guys have to say, rather, about Hunter x Hunter 1999, episodes 43 through 45. Usual reminder, if you want to get in on the fun discussing any given topic week to week, make sure you keep an eye out for the YouTube community posts, as well as the call-out posts on Twitter and Bluesky. And of course, you can always email us your thoughts, if you so please, at hunterassociationpod@gmail.com. So, we're going to do things a little differently this week. First off, we got multiple comments, and they were like essay-long comments from 3 different people. And we've already discussed a lot in this episode, and I don't think either of us necessarily want another near 3-hour episode, back to back from the last one. And so for that reason, one, I want to mention that for these 3 commenters that we're going to be reading from today, you know who you are, I'm sure if you're watching the episode. We're taking snippets from each of the comments for the sake of time. And so we'll be discussing points from all 3 episodes. It's just that we've selected specific episodes from each one of your comments, just for the sake of time. So apologies for that if we don't fit all of your comments into this episode. Of course, you viewers and listeners of this, you can always check out the comments on the actual YouTube community post if you want to read the full thoughts of the people that we're about to read thoughts from. That being said, that also segues into our second point that we want to discuss, which is the length of these comments and going forward into the near future, especially as it relates to potential chapter reviews as we get closer to this hiatus ending. Kaige, if you want to elaborate on that real quick for me.
Yeah, so I won't want to spend too much time on this, but basically, preferably, we would rather have your comments take up on YouTube, by the way. This isn't really ever a problem on Twitter or Bluesky when we get write-ins on there, but YouTube, they allow pretty long comments. We get that, and we welcome it. We do love these comments, genuinely. I love reading them, but it's one of these things. We have limited time to record the show. We try to keep it to 2 hours around, typically, and it does begin to weigh on you whenever we realize that, okay, so like a half hour to 40 minutes, sometimes an hour in extreme cases of our show is going to be spent on reading community comments. And we love community comments, genuinely. I think we both really love this segment.
It was the foundation of our podcast in the first place from the very beginning. So we appreciate it.
Absolutely,
we want to make that extremely clear.
Yes. But it does suck because sometimes I think we both get the feeling that we have to kind of hold ourselves back in our own discussion on a topic to make room for community comments. And just kind of podcasting 101, that ain't good. I don't think we should be thinking that way and doing that. So, we are never reading comments on the show again. No, I'm kidding. We are going to try to limit it to one comment per person. Now, if that doesn't make sense, look at insert name. He has a comment and then a reply to his comment. Same with Magitech. Everybody in this video, actually. So, in the future, if you're listening to this part, I'm also going to put it in the community post from now on. Just try one comment. Don't reply. Oh, and also, if you want to still reply, you can. But just make sure you know that reply comment will not be read on the show from now on. We will only be reading the first comment. You can write more. We will read it, and hopefully other people will as well. Mm. But just know that first comment is all that will be read on the show from this point on. This is also in the interest of the fact that new chapters are in the near future, and we really should start winding down and getting back to how we were reading comments back then, because I don't know how many of you have been around that long, but back then, guys, we're talking like 50, 60 comments submitted per chapter. If they're all this length, no,
yeah. Like
it's not.
Like it's literally it would be unsustainable. And in the case, if we really wanted to stick to our guns of reading every single comment and fitting in as much content as possible in that section, we'd have longer community comment sections than the actual discussion of the chapters themselves.
Yeah, and we cannot do that for chapters, especially.
So we're just wanting to set some kind of not a guideline necessarily, but like we want to set an expectation of what we want to structure community comments as going forward, especially when we get to new chapter reviews again. This is just for the best interest of our discussions on these episodes, as well as just like for the sake of not spending too much time in community comments specifically.
Yeah. So hopefully you understand. No hard feelings at all towards anybody. This isn't like we're like a teacher scolding you guys for writing too much. We love this genuinely. It's just in the interest of time and efficiency, we had to make the decision to try to keep these more concise. And you can still fit a hell of a lot in one YouTube comment, really. So try that out. But I will say also, once we get the chapters, we'll probably have to reevaluate once again, because even comments that long, like a full YouTube comment, that'll be tough to fit in, admittedly, because we get a lot. I mean, if you go back and look, it's a lot. Even, back then also, and it'll be the case now, we really only accepted comments for like a couple hours in a day, because we put it out the same day chapters came out, that same morning. And even still, it's like well over 50 comments to look through and sort. And yeah, so just heads up in the future and heads up for now. That's how we're going to be looking at it.
Yep. Just want to set expectations going forward, basically.
Yeah.
So that being said, let's go ahead and kick this off with Filler Millmore. It's been a minute since I've seen your name on one of these, so welcome back. So like I mentioned at the very beginning of this section, we're going to be reading thoughts on specific episodes from each of these people today. Mm-hmm. Phil Millmore will be reading his thoughts on 43, specifically, episode 43, the first episode of this batch. And again, if you want to read the entire comment where they discuss even more about the other episodes, you're free to go to the YouTube community post and read that for yourself there. So, Fillard Millmore says, I'm so happy to hear that there has been news of recent updates. I haven't contributed in a while, but I've been catching up with the 99 reviews released over the course of the summer. Oh, okay, thank you. Personally, I like Karapika's red outfit, even if, unfortunately, I associate heavily with that one gratuitous cross shop in the couch train scene.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if my sense of humor just sucks, but Magitech writing thighs instead of things during the 34 through 36 batch actually fucking killed me. Thank you, Magitech.
Yeah, that was only funny in hindsight, because I thought we were the dumb ones. I was like, are there thighs on the ceiling? Like, what are we not seeing?
Really funny.
Yeah, that was very funny.
So, about episode 43. First thing I noticed, jumping in at a random point as I am, is that Sadaso has a second arm.
Yeah.
I've seen 99 before, but I guess I either didn't notice or just didn't think about it. In the manga and 2011, he definitely doesn't have his left arm unless I'm blind. And his sleeve is empty, not because he's chosen to sling it around his torso, but because there is nothing there. I always took his missing arm, along with the disabilities of Revelt and Gito, to reflect through visual indicators what happens to someone who gets the Nen initiation that Gon and Killua were warned about. Very nitpicky, but I don't see the point of giving him the arm when he doesn't even use it. Why not put it in his sleeve then? Why form a Nen ability around creating another hand if it's not compensating for anything? Doesn't affect much, just thought it was odd. Yeah, I mean, that's always... That's what seemed odd about me to Sadaso in general, too.
I mean, that's
Very
all
weird.
three of them, though. Like, they're all... You can just boil it down to, like... Okay, you don't have these disabilities, so why are these your Nen abilities in this
Right.
world? It just doesn't make any sense.
It's supposed to make them look amateurish, I think, which is the point.
Yeah.
But, it's just a funny thought, though, at the end of the day, for sure. Wow, insert name also calls him Darth Maul. I'm not editing my passage,
Well, we did
though,
too.
so you'll just have to hear this joke twice. I'm glad
Well,
we weren't the
we're
only
hearing
ones
it
who thought
a
of
lot of times then because we did it too. It is Darth Maul. I don't know what I can't imagine watching that and thinking anything else. Honestly.
that. Yeah, I mean, this episode was in, like, what, 2000 as well? So, like, yeah,
Yep.
that's basically right when Phantom Menace was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Killua's filler fight with Darth Maul didn't strike me as particularly necessary, though I understand its conclusion. It has some nice visuals to it and some more trademark eye reflections. But something I didn't like was when Wing commented, Dorado, in brackets, by the way, possesses the Nen abilities of a transmuter and a conjurer. There are charts that display that Nen affinities are a spectrum, but to my knowledge, this information hadn't really been properly dispensed yet, and I don't like this way of introducing that idea. That's a good point. I mean, this leads more to the idea that, like, they really just kind of skimmed over the Nen introductory stuff, right? So it seems out of place. Forgive me if this was mentioned in a prior batch, but I don't think it was. So far, the audience knows that a Nen user is inclined towards one category. Wing introducing the idea of dual affinities is just likely to cause confusion, especially since that is literally all he says about it before moving on. Plus, Dorado's ability is neither particularly interesting, nor particularly exemplary of the concept of balanced affinities. Not to mention, Izanavi, or whatever he's named in this version, is going to explain it to Karapika soon in far more depth, which he does, by the way.
Yeah.
Overall, just a weird detail to throw in and then not elaborate upon. Yeah. Very weird for sure.
Just Nen is so weird in this adaptation. Moving on. Anyways, the Darth Maul fight ends in a very anime way with an impossible clothing rip. I'm not a big fan of the angstiness that follows, to be honest. I know Killua was just kind of an angsty character. Is he, though? I don't know if angsty is the way I would describe Killua.
Angsty is not the word I would use,
but
but I get what you're I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like the filler material always just adds a little too much for my preference. Or if it's Phantom Rouge, it turns it up to 100 and has him step in front of a train for no reason. That's right. He did step in front of a train in Phantom Rouge. I forgot about that. That was actually insane. But my issue is less with the choice to give Killua a development scene and more in the emphasis that's placed upon Wing. Disclaimer that this could just be an issue of my interpretation. We get a lingering shot of Wing observing Killua just as the fight ends. If he's just worried about Killua's doing, that's fine. But when I first watched, I got the impression that he was contemplating Killua's dangerous proclivities in a similar way he contemplated awakening a monster in Gon. By implying that Wing is concerned about Killua in the same regard, it distracts from the fact that it is ironically the less threatening and more cheery of the two that is the potential danger. It just muddies the foreshadowing for me. Fair point. Very fair point. Yeah. I do get the need to put some sort of emotional anchor into the episodes following the Hisoka fight, but I think it could have been done. It could have just been done cleaner. Yeah, I also think it could have just not been done at all, and they
Yeah.
just say the story the way it was supposed to be. But
I was about
whatever.
to say that sentence could apply to like most of the Sevens Arena adaptation.
Yeah, literally. Like if they just did the story the right way, I don't think they would have really any problems. But they wanted to get fancy with it.
Mm-hmm.
On a positive note, the scenery and OST Hikaru ga Mienai. I don't know which one that is. I guess that's the instrumental version of the first ending. Given that during the balcony scene between Kilo and Wing are both really nice. Finally, getting back to canon material, I'm immediately struck with how odd it is that Zushi is being introduced to this trio after Gon's already fought Hisoka. I just don't understand the purpose of reformatting the arc, and it really only introduces problems. Sorry if I'm forgetting, but was a reason ever offered for why the arc was rearranged? Not that I'm aware of.
I got nothing.
We're in the dark. We're trying to solve the mystery. I think Sadaso still perceiving Gon as small fry retroactively diminishes his performance in the Hisoka fight. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that too.
Gon sticking around without a pursuit feels out of character, exactly, and the story feels a bit directionless given the arc should have already concluded. Yup, preaching to the choir. Moving on, the last batch, I think you guys proposed the idea that the Nen colors are reflective of the specific application, like Ten, Ren, and we talked about that. I'm inclined to disagree. Well, we now know for a fact that's not the case, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
However, since throughout the episodes, Kilo's was always pink, Gon's was always orange, and Zushi's was always green, leading me to believe that they are personalized aura colors. 100%. Yeah. This is aesthetically nice, but I do prefer the approach of aura colors being either non-diegetic, reflective of emotion, or only taking on color when Hatu is manifested. I think in using specific colored auras, I think in using specified aura colors more sparingly, it makes the instances of... Oh my god, I'm inventing words. The instances when there is color more intentional, providing a little visual indication of the emotions of the Nen user. Also, if default aura, Ren I mean, had a diegetic distinguished color, I think it would complicate inconspicuous aura usage like the kind we see in the Succession War. People like Furikov wouldn't be quite as significant since little minute aura differences wouldn't matter as much. Yeah, that's true. The colored aura stuff in the long term, I guess it would cause very little problems in the long term, but it's still like it's a change that didn't need to be there, and it's I don't know. It's a really nothing thing. I don't really know why it was done.
I'm not sure either. I mean, there's the argument it gives just each character a bit more individuality in general, right? But
yeah, I suppose so.
I don't know. Yeah, just weird in general. Not something I'm really like shaken up on or anything. But
no, I can't say I like it, but it's harmless at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's harmless. That's the right word.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for your comment, Filler Millmore. If you guys want to see the rest of his thoughts on the other episodes, make sure to check out the YouTube community post.
Yes.
Next up, we are going to be talking about episode 44 from Magitech's comment. Episode 44. And this episode starts much more standardly. Gon and Killua presenting their finals on Hatsu training and getting ready for their fights with the remaining two. Also, that shot of Heaven's Arena reflected on the cup, Chef's Kiss. They went all out with the reflections in this battle.
They did, yeah.
I think. They loved reflections. Not that I mind. I love their work on reflections for the most part. So, looked nice. Gon versus Guido. Not much to say about the fight. It's just the same as we know, but again, the animation's shining on these episodes. Maybe it's just because they're not handicapped in this version for some reason, but damn, Gon didn't just break the shaft, it broke the whole thing. In that face, that's an angry Gon, alright. He was
Indeed.
angry. His friend got hurt, or almost got hurt. Killua versus Revolt. Again, not much to say, and it's not that flashy of a fight to begin with for the animation to shine. Still, points for the electricity and Coco, commentator lady, putting on sunglasses. That is a very funny touch.
Yeah, I didn't mention that. That was a funny little thing.
Interlude. It's so funny that all 4 fights are now happening on the same day, but considering they were originally meant to be forfeited, it kind of makes sense. Gotta love Gon and
Yeah.
Killua casually eating mid-confrontations, specifically, or especially their conversation, how are you going to fight Geto? Gon, you broke his leg. He ain't fighting. But he can stand on his own 2 feet, though. We saw
Yeah,
that in the
I
episode.
know. It's so stupid.
Whatever.
Oh, that's a comment break. Oops.
Yeah, sorry.
I couldn't even tell that was a different comment. Speaking of Guido, I don't know why, but the image of him
Skipping town?
skipping, yeah, probably, I guess. Yeah, it has to be. Skipping town with a bag on his back and his tiny cane is very amusing to me. Man, I feel bad for Real Vout getting electrocuted with 1 million volts and having to be ready to fight again in an hour. That's tough, buddy.
It is tough.
Gon versus Real Vout. 45 seconds. That's the time between the referee starting the fight and declaring Gon's victory. Yeah, that's the final fight of the series, by the way.
My God.
And of the arc, not the
of
series.
Imagine if that was the series.
Of the series. That'd be awesome. It's all been leading to this, guys. And now we're at the end. I know your feelings about the changes to the timeline, and I totally get them. But bookending the arc with this speech from Wing, telling them about how the secret exam and how it just feels like the first step into a much greater world than we could have imagined. And again, the music and the setting, it just fills everything with such a sense of importance and grandeur. I love it. But of course, there's only one way that this arc could truly end, with a final visit to Elevator Lady, and she goes out with a bang.
That's right. Atomic bomb.
Absolutely. So good. God, I love it.
No, I agree with you. Like the ending parts of this were really nice, and especially if you consider it in a vacuum. It's just a little weird because the structure up until that point just was off the rails entirely, so it didn't feel as like rewarding, if that makes sense. But
yeah, it definitely didn't. But yeah, I agree that the final scenes are nice. It lands, but it's also undermined by the fact that the presentation is just all off.
yeah, exactly. All right, now we have episode 45, which will be covered by insert name. So we will go through as much as I can with this because this is definitely the longest comment, even for just one episode out of everybody here. Again, can't stress enough. If you want to read the entirety of these comments, be sure to go to the YouTube community post. You'll find them there.
I really do want to stress that. Like, these people put so much work into these comments. I know they do. And we love them. It's just they're very long.
Yeah. Episode 45. This episode is not a perfect episode, but it's damn near close. It is obviously their Yorknew bias. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could tell that from the very beginning. The very first scene. I could complain that this level of directorial and visual consideration was not given to Heaven's Arena, but man, I'm just happy we got this at all. This episode is my favorite episode of Hunter x Hunter that doesn't have Knuckle or Adult Gon in it. It's so good. Yeah, I mean, I believe it. This episode was fantastic.
It's very good.
The somberness and intensity of the opening. What in the world? How do I say that? My brain is not functioning because I'm also half sick.
Soliloquy.
Something like that. Soliloquy.
I'm gonna call you out in certain name. That word is capitalized. I think you copied and pasted that from Wikipedia or dictionary.
Caught emoji. It's theatrical and somber. It's reminiscent of a classical tragedy and feels like the opening act of a play. It speaks of Kurapika's internal desire, his wish laid bare before the audience. He is as naked in purpose here as he is in actuality, and the symbolism here is brilliant foreshadowing. He creates chains for that purpose, he exclaims, but entraps himself. A beautiful visual metaphor for, as he says, he wants the strength to capture the demons that bring suffering to this world. He also binds himself as he brings about his own suffering through his blind pursuit. His lifeless, cold expression leaves you wondering the purpose and result of Kurapika's heart. A lingering shot that makes you ponder the direction of the arc. It is a wonderful microcosm of the arc. accompanied by brilliant visuals, a lovely shade of pink that matches Kurapika's style, and the visual flair that is almost so amazing. Almost so amazing. I feel like you meant to say also amazing, but maybe I'm wrong there.
Maybe, yeah.
The chains coming from his flesh, to me, the visuals of him bound are reminiscent of a tree, perhaps Tree of Life, or perhaps reminiscent of the Crucifixion, which ties into the visual Christian imagery motif that Togashi loves to use in this arc. It is also such a good way to use the inspiration from the volume cover. Oh yeah, that is kind of.
Oh my god, you're
wow.
right. Wow,
That's like
dude.
ripped from the volume cover.
Yeah, oh my god, you're so right. I didn't piece that together. Wow.
That's awesome. That's a good
Yeah.
shot. Train scene.
Yeah.
In the Sengi Guild scene, did not know it. Also, I want to touch on
Okay.
that comment a little bit more. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you said there. It's just like wonderful, like visual storytelling and just symbolism and foreshadowing in general. Looked amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I felt everything I needed to from this scene. Couldn't agree with you more. Okay, back to
I'm glad that we're not the only ones that didn't know it was called the Sengi Guild, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, it's mentioned like 2 times ever, I feel like. So, like, we're allowed to not remember that.
Yeah.
Going back to what I was reading about that. In the Sengi Guild scene, did not know it was called that till last week. You may be able to see the face like in 2011. Unfortunately, the screen is 50% black, so it's hard.
Yeah.
It's a very dark scene, for sure. 99 loves it. I believe it's also visible in the previous scene in the guild if you have keen eyes.
Yeah, I noticed that this time. I didn't last time, so I wonder if it was added. But yeah, this time they showed the scene. You could definitely see it very faintly.
Yeah. Which makes sense. I don't know. Like, that's a cool detail. They could have just not done that.
I kind of hope it was added, like, for the second go around of the scene, because it's almost like... It's like you're tricking the viewers into thinking like they can kind of see it now because we learned about Nen. I like that.
Motherfuckers smash their windows on the way out of the guild. I know it's symbolism, but imagine the scene after that moment. Kurapika just standing there stoically as the lady notices the fucking glass door is cracked, freaking out about having to call a door repairer.
Yeah.
I love actually being able to see the conjuration training. I find it interesting that crystals seem to be the default summoner here. Is that for everyone, or is that like transmuters where the process is uniform in outcome but different in expression? I wonder what it says that Kurapika summoned what looked like quartz, if it is unique.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too. That is very interesting.
Not something I got myself hung up on, but yeah, the question did come to mind.
Look, 1989 finally learned how to explain Nen. If only they learned earlier.
So
I like
true.
this. Yeah, seriously. I like this meeting method for Kurapika and Melody more. It has so much more personality to it, and it gives it a great sense of both individual character personalities. Absolutely. Yeah,
I agree.
I just like having them meet alone and not with the other, people involved in the job. I think it works really well.
It makes Melody feel a lot more prominent of a character off the bat than just like how she's normally introduced, I think, which I do like with Succession War in mind specifically.
Yeah. Obviously, I love the interior of the train, and the whole concept of having Kurapika hold off those trying to steal his license is a great way of previously established lore to create a fun action set piece. It's dynamic, shows Kurapika's competence and skill, as well as his growth in power. It showcases Melody's impeccable insight and perception. It is a much better introduction to both this version of Kurapika and Melody's character than just crossing paths. Why this was not ported into 2011, I will not understand. Well, 2011 was going for a more faithful adaptation, so that's why. But
absolutely,
I get it. Though I don't know why we got a heartbeat sound as the guy looks at the ticket. His facial expressions are enough to convey everything they needed to. Yeah, that is true. I didn't bring that up, but fair enough. Great reflections in this episode as usual. The shots are dynamic, using reflection, unique angles, and transitions to establish the story. The 3 settings for this episode are merged so seamlessly. They don't break the immersion into any of the others, and details are shown at opportune times that each section is exposing relevant information. Yes, I agree. Watching it is like that, but recapping it sucks.
Yeah.
I love how this episode is structured and presented, but it sucked to recap. Holy shit! I don't think I'll ever stop beating myself up about that. That was awful.
There's not much you could do about it, man. Don't worry about it.
I know. It's really bad though. That was the episode the soundtrack was made for. Yes, we didn't talk about music at all. God damn it, dude.
We talked about it in during the Wing and Zushi moment, you know.
Yeah, but not during the Kurapika episode.
No,
we didn't.
So
good. It sounded amazing, dude. The music that I assume is Kurapika's theme. I don't know. I haven't listened to the soundtrack alone, but it's so goddamn good. I love that track so much.
Me too. So good.
The use of imagery here is amazing. The scene of the spider over the fire as the two of them sitting there in the web is such a poignant image. Absolutely. The entire scene of Kurapika training and ultimately releasing his ability. Chef's kiss. I love the color of Kurapika's aura here. I always forget which color they make certain characters in scenes, but the pinkish aura is the perfect color for him. Like his eyes are subtly bleeding into the nature of his soul, like white laundry stained by a red shirt. True. Maybe that's what happened with his clothes when they turn red. Put like a red shirt in.
Yeah, maybe.
The explanation Izunabi, who the hell calls him Izunabi? Come on now. Give for conjuration are really good here. By the way, did you know 2011 confirmed him as an emitter in like the Killua and Gon ending scenes? I always forget that. Oh, wow.
Really? Huh.
Interesting.
That's not what I would take him as. But that's
I guess we haven't seen him use Nen yet still, even now. We'll get there, I think. Maybe.
Maybe. We'll see.
The waterfall effect is weird, but the training visual is a great concept. Having to concentrate like that is a logical way to build up the mental strength to focus on an object in the face of turbulent environments. The spider web over the shifty sky imagery is so cool.
Imagery's off the charts in this episode altogether.
Indeed.
All right. And then we get to the actual sequence of him unlocking his powers. What a scene. Yeah. Kurapika's eyes represent both his Kurta heritage, but also the source of his trauma. It defines who he is as a Kurta, but also the source of all of his pain. His aura coalescing over his head as this all-seeing eye. Over his head as this all-seeing eye is both a metal as fuck image, but also deeply tied to his concept of self and the conflict he must endure. Then, cutting to his mental space, seeing the moon red as his eyes are dripping down blood into an ever-sinking sea that drowns Kurapika as he lies there unmoving is such a vivid image. It's very, like, End of Eva-esque, and that's what I really love about it.
It is, yeah. Okay, that helped me put it into perspective more. I mean, I'm sure if I thought about it enough myself, I'd get there, but yeah, so it's, it's visually showing his own trauma and his, feelings about himself and his past, or, like, drowning him, literally.
Literally, like, drowning in the blood of his own people, basically.
Yeah, basically.
So good. There's a lot of ways you can interpret it. I love that they put this sort of imagery that likely doesn't have a strict reading, but you can read into. You can see the blood as his own, the troops, or his clan. Either way, it's such a great inclusion. Yeah, you can read that as like a variety of different things. It's pretty up to interpretation, honestly, but they all fit, and that's what's good about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
His chains originating from his own blood is epic, brilliant, no notes, perfect. Though weird to have the sparkle on the earrings during that scene. But the subsequent, But the subsequent falling into the water and the spider's web before the first rays of light and his master come to help is simply cinematic. This episode has spectacle.
Indeed. I also want to note that the sound effect when the earring sparkles is really shitty. It sounds
I don't think
awful.
I even processed the sound effect.
It's just a really jank, like, sparkle sound effect.
Okay. 99 in its sound design at times.
Yeah, classic.
I especially love how after we learn about sacrifice and Nen vows, we immediately cut to Kurapika kicking ass to tie the sacrifices he made to the power he receives in doing so. Very, very like, kind of just, putting it into the viewer's mind. Like, he got this way because he made sacrifices for his power. I don't.
Yeah, it probably could also be confusing though to first-time watchers because they don't really.
That's true.
They don't explain the whole thing because, as far as you know, at this point, I think is you would assume that he can only use his nen at all on the troop, but there he is right there
Oh
using it
yeah,
on other people. So
that
you don't get the whole picture before he
that
uses it, which is interesting.
that had to have confused some people for sure. Like, yeah, like,
Yeah,
wait, why isn't he dead? He used it on non-troopers.
yeah, he literally just used it on somebody else.
I don't consider this episode part of Yorknew. It's kind of in between since we still have to deal with going home. But damn, if this isn't a mood setter, it leaves me breathless every time. And yeah, that's exactly how Kaige described it too. It's a mood setter for the entire rest of the arc.
Yeah, yeah, it absolutely is. And yeah, it is weird because it is going to be broken up by the Gon and Killua visit to Whale Island. But that is also a very melancholic part of the story, aside from the Greed Island setup. That's a little whimsy, but I think it'll work, especially given 99. I think they'll present it in a more darker tone anyways. Darker in quotes because it's not dark, but literally darker. I'm sure every scene will probably be at night, at midnight.
Yeah,
but, you know,
we'll see.
Yeah.
They simply aren't interested in him. Gon. Kurapika's their darling because they were inspired by Yorknew. It emotionally resonated with them. The creators love Yorknew. They love the drama of it and the complexity of the character interactions there, but I don't believe they love Hunter x Hunter. They don't love Gon, and they don't value the other aspects of the series that make it work. Hunter x Hunter has great emotional and moral moments, but it is more than that. It is a story of structure and a power system, a living, breathing world. A simplistic premise attacked by the full force of complexity at every angle, from its power system to its MC to its structure. 1999 loves an aspect of Hunter x Hunter, but not Hunter x Hunter entire. Now, if you are just an audio-only listener and you kind of had some deja vu there, this was a part of a comment from an episode way back. I don't even remember the exact episode batch, but
Yeah.
I remember reading this comment from insert name, this exact entire paragraph. He quoted that entire thing here and followed with, having finished this arc and seen what they will do for Kurapika. Having finished this arc and seen what do you think they will do for Kurapika? What they will do for Kurapika, you're getting this now.
He just used the wrong scene there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
jumped me.
So I definitely understand this. Like I think I could understand it back then, or at least I could see I could see why you would be saying that. It wasn't as apparent then. I think this might have been after the his fight against what's his ass and Majitani and Trick Tower.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
I definitely understand. There is very, very clear Kurapika bias, and it almost does feel like the Kurapika or the Gon and Killua stuff is like an afterthought. They just don't seem to care as much, which is
it's a shame.
Yeah, it is.
But
it makes me wonder how they'll handle the Gon and Killua stuff in Yorknew itself.
Yeah, no, I'm curious about that for sure. But man, if it has me questioning though, is it kind of worth it just to see Yorknew in the vibe that it's being presented as?
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm very excited about it. So
it won't be for nothing, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. It's a really interesting part about 99's existence, I think, that that we're still exploring, or we'll continue to explore, why it's so different. But yeah, I'm excited. And it's just this entire episode, I couldn't agree more with everything you said. It was just perfect in pretty much every single way.
Totally. Yeah, I loved it so much.
So that's going to do it for... Oh, did you have any other thoughts?
Oh, no. You're good.
Okay. So that's going to do it for community comments this week. Again, sorry for having to cut out many of your guys' comments, related to the other episodes. We just didn't want this episode to be extremely, extremely long. And we want to set an expectation going forward. So thank you. If any of the listeners or viewers out there want to read more about their thoughts about, what we didn't present here, make sure to go check out the YouTube community posts. And that's where... Also keep an eye out for the YouTube community posts if you want to get in on the discussion on any given topic week to week. And you could always keep an eye out for the call-out posts on Twitter and Bluesky, or email us your thoughts at hunterassociationpod@gmail.com.
Yes, sir. And with that, this has been the Hunter Association. Thank you so much for listening. We are available on all major podcasting platforms as well as YouTube for the video version. Be sure to follow, rate, review, and comment on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can also follow us on Twitter at TXHXAPod as well as Bluesky at THAPod for updates on the show and as an alternative way to submit responses to the weekly call-out posts. As always, we're here at the same time every week talking about Hunter x Hunter. Dylan, where can people find you online?
You can find me online at DJ Tengen. That's DJTENGEN on Twitter and Bluesky. Go follow me if you're interested in see what I'm doing.
And you can find me at Manga Kaige on Bluesky and YouTube. Do manga.
Manga.
Yeah.
Yippee.
Manga. All right. So next week it is character retrospective time. I know we skipped last week or last month. We didn't even mention that, I don't think. But yeah, we it just didn't work out. But we're back with Crollo, everybody.
Yes, sir.
We will be talking about Crollo with our good friend CJ. Looking forward to it. It'll be a great time. And
Yeah.
We are recording earlier this time. We'll be recording on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So get your comments in before then. So you still have, again, it's pretty much the same amount of time ultimately. It's just like about 12 less hours or so.
Yeah.
But I will do my best to get the call-up post out on Monday. Please, if there is a God, please let it happen this time. Let me remember.
On that same note as well, for the Twitter and Bluesky peeps out there, I know I've been kind of bad about like actually putting call-out posts on Twitter specifically. Kaige runs the Bluesky account if you didn't know, but Twitter I've been slacking a little bit as of late. So I just want to put it out there that like if you don't see a call-out post on Twitter, but you want to give your thoughts on the topic if you know what it's going to be, you can just send like a comment to the to the Twitter account directly, and I can see the notification from there. So don't be afraid to just kind of send a random tweet to the account's way, I guess, if you want to put your thoughts there to potentially be read on the show. Just a heads up there.
Sure, yeah. All right, that's all we got for this week. So we will see you guys next week for Crollo. I'm excited.
Come prepared. There'll be a lot to talk about.
Yes, absolutely. But remember, comments shorter from now on.
Yes.
Still plenty of room. Come on, a whole YouTube comment's still a lot.
Be creative. You can be creative. I believe in you guys.
That's right, yeah. All right, well, we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, take it easy, guys.